Welcome everybody to Monday Night Fire Shrike. We get the little recap button here. We get Zai and Burnward squaring off in a room with like maybe a couple of shots of like booby traps on the door and shit. We get we get a jump cut to like a conversation with Zai and Shaba, and we get a jump cut to a conversation with Vesa and Twinkle as they're walking down the corridors. Then we jump cut back to Zai and Burnward facing off, and we see the two of them clash, and Burnward is just hacking at Zai, blood's flying everywhere, and Zai is, fighting back, utilizing we see him glowing and letting off radiation, and then we see Twinkle and Vesa confronting Hafis and Tix Pit, uh, and necked Kivo at the door to the Hollow Suite, to the Hollow Entertainment Center. Then we get uh, the all these blast doors start closing everywhere, like all these doors closing just everywhere. And we see lights go off in the Hollow Entertainment Center, and Zai and Burnward sort of floating in the sort of like very badly emergency lit background as Burnward gets to his armor, and we see like Shaba up on deck, calling for Xander, and we see like Xander walk in up on deck, and then we see the uh, we see Kolnak and Ryan working in the split screen, like down the middle of Shaba or of Vesa talking to Kolnak on the comms, and then we get like Kolnak and Ryan disconnecting the power core, Shaba's reaction to that, and the teleportation out to the Spitfire. We get a little bit more of Zai and Burnward fighting. We see that we get like Vesa and I think it was Vesa open, like mechanically unlock, breaking the lock on the door, mechanically disassembling the lock on the blast doors and going in and try. We see like we see Burnward launch a missile. We see the reaction from Tix Pit, Hasis, and Neck Kiva of, wait, that doesn't sound like a fair fight. And then we see like everybody kind of like Vesa breakthrough, and everybody kind of float in, and we see this zero G fight happening where everybody is trying to keep from pushing off from losing, spinning out of control. And then we see like a split screen again with Vesa and the somebody down in the shuttle bay talking, as we see Shaba and Loyalty Dash Zero removing like lockdown clamps on the Spitfire mechanically. And then we see like the split screen with Xander and Vesa, their conversation. And we get, uh, then we come back we split screen back to the combat, and we get, Burnward being burned up with a miniature star right in his face, and we see Shaba and Xander and Loyalty taking off in the Spitfire and heading off. And then we get the big Fire Shrike logo across the top of the screen. When we come back in, and when we come back in, we're going to come back in on sort of the direct aftermath of the fight. Zai, you're pretty injured at this point, right?
And I mean, if this is like the immediate round after the fact, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
This is essentially right on the heels.
Hello, Zenfaresh. Whenever you get a chance, uh, let's rephrase that. Whenever we get all of these, the stupid things that are over all the doors,
Blast doors.
as soon as we get power back on and the blast doors up, I'm gonna need you. But for now, I walk over and pick up my suit of armor, put it back on, and then take 2 fucking MK3 fucking healing potions. Or, sorry, serums of healing.
All right.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And that'll get me
Oliver.
to stop
Uh,
bleeding.
okay. By the way, Oliver, you were in sick bay when the blast doors like locked everything down,
And Zinfaresh
and
was with him.
lights and gravity went off. So,
Oh,
um, yeah, gravity has not been restored, and you're still on like really dim emergency light stuff. Um,
Mm.
so, in order to navigate around, I will need acrobatics and athletics checks until Ryan and
Uh,
Kolnak can get the power core back online. Um,
that's funny. That
but
means I still have teeny tiny wings.
I'm just
v-
not. I
and
just Oliver's just gonna kind of like hover there in the middle of the med bay and just kind of like be like, hmm, this is unfortunate. I just kind of like how you might see, I don't know, not a cat, like just kind of just sitting there
did you
stationary, arms up, just floating in the
did
middle.
you did you make an athletics roll?
I'm not even attempting to move. I'm just floating.
Okay, so you're just sort of out of control floating. We get this
Well, I
shot
mean,
of
is
like
it
the
like the
med
whole place
bay.
shaking around, or was it just the gravity went
No,
out?
it's the gravity. It's
You're
just the
gonna bounce
gravity
off the
went out.
ceiling.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
slowly
I
though. It's
mean,
like a slow, just like bump, bump.
yeah, like but
Mm.
you at this point don't have control of
Yeah,
the
if it's not
rotation
harmful,
of
he's not gonna
you're just
bother.
you're just like we get the we get the camera of the
Oliver's given up on that.
It's Oliver Pong.
Like, cause
yeah,
look,
we
okay,
just
here,
see
hold on.
Oliver
Maybe
floating.
I'll try to reach out and try to like grab onto the desk so I don't fly too much. But yeah, see, as you see, I miss. My claws just kind of go. It's like slip
Oh,
up.
so Zinfaresh was in there with you because I thought I was going to die, and he was there to help do the resurrection. Um, so he can like grab a hold of you and pull you down
Okay.
if you'd like.
Yeah, that's fine. If he can like hold me down and then I can just normally grab
Yeah,
something.
Well,
yeah.
is Zernbresh wearing gravity boots or something?
I have
He has a
hydrojets.
prehensile tail to hold on to stuff with.
Okay, so he's basically he's still floating. He's just got stabilized himself.
Right? Yeah, I'm stabilized. I
And
mean,
so
I can make another
he's
check if
gonna
you'd like, but
yeah, and no, 31 is good enough. You're stabilized, and you're attempting to get Oliver Burns stabilized, and Zern Vesh is going to try to get Oliver Burns stabilized.
yeah.
I guess an athletics check to see if you can get because Oliver Byrne, he's a large sized creature. He's a bear.
Mm,
He's pretty big. He weighs like 1,000 pounds and shit.
gotcha,
Well,
bud.
I don't think weight matters right now in zero G,
Yeah,
but
it's
Yeah,
really easy. I
you're
just grab a hold of
true.
him and push him down.
Yeah,
Eh.
yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. You manage to stabilize him. So he's not floating, spinning, or anything. But you,
That's what I do.
um,
I literally use centrifugal force to bring him down.
that's what,
much
I know
appreciated.
that's not how it works, but it looks funny.
well, yeah. You don't exactly stay on the grounds per se, but you can keep
I
them
have
from
you, Doctor.
out of control. Uh, yeah. So that's what Zrinvash is doing.
Yeah.
Twinkle, you have you bore witness to the end of the fight, like with Zai and Burnward, because as soon as or as soon as Vesa managed to break through, like Hafis, Nick Kivo, and Tixpit charged in to try to help. Tixpit was a lot less help like Hafis rolled a crit right off the bat
Mm.
with his axe. Um,
So
uh,
I thought of a really awesome question, sir.
but yes,
Um, are the isekai tunnels that we have currently built into every ship for ease? Are they blocked as well?
um, well, that's the thing. Uh, are they blocked? They are probably like they're. Probably not physically, no. But when you start the engine back up, some of the tunnels could be a little dangerous due to proximity to various exposed,
Well, and
circuits,
that's
react
all
and
fine,
power
sir. It
cord.
was just that whole if we can bypass a lot of it by going through those to get to the bridge, so Kolnak can then restart the engine.
On- Only small sized creatures are going to be able to fit through that.
I have a rat folk belt.
All right. Well, you can probably get yourself to the bridge if that's what you're trying to do.
Okay. Well, no, I was just checking, sir.
Yeah. I mean,
Eh.
if you're
I mean, who's on the bridge? There has to be someone besides those three when they left.
well, there's like lower level members of the like science crew. This the
There.
fucking
Wait, is no Scramjet's not up there, is he? Mm,
Scramjet was not on the bridge.
I
No,
remember that.
because he's the one that like he got caught in a hallway and called Vesa to be like, hey, what the fuck is going on? He was on his way
Hmm.
to the bridge,
Okay.
but he didn't get there before it got cut off.
So Ashira, start working on getting all these damn blast doors up. Kolnak, wait for my signal to restart the engines. Brian, help him. Sometimes he doesn't know what he's doing. Or actually, Brian, you do it. Kolnak, you help. Sorry, Ryan, not Brian. Um, and then
Golnak would be like, well, we can fix all the problem if we just get the power core reconnected. Like he's like,
oh yeah,
but what's the status? Last I heard, I was just told to take the power core offline. And what do we need it back on now?
yes, we need it on yesterday actually.
And
Everything's fine. Shaba left.
he's like,
Did Shaba
I'll
actually
explain.
take? Oh, that's right, she did. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So you know how Shaba does that thing where she just decides something and goes with it?
Yeah.
I
Yeah. So she did that. She took Xander and loyalty. Um, I don't think she remembered that the VI is on that little ship, and he's a smart little guy, so he probably just went with it because Xander's there. But at the very least, we should probably be able to find it with some ease. We can't catch up with it. It's like 100 times faster than this boat.
was
So
like,
we'll just follow it, and when we get there, we'll do whatever Shaba's doing. Because by that point, she should be in trouble.
he's like,
And Xander will probably
I
be dead.
he's like, that lass knows how to find a hornet's nest of trouble. Then
Right? She's like,
he's
what can I do the most harm, but have the most fun doing? Oh, a hornet's nest. Thump. Yeah.
he's,
Mm.
he's like, well, I suppose then we'll get to work putting the power core back online then.
Yes. Remember, this place makes a regular war zone look like a peace zone. So let's put some hustle in it.
He's like,
And once core's
but
back on, then Ashira, make your computer check.
well, you do have like I don't know, Shaba, would you have tried to turn off tracking? Shaba or Xander, would you have
Why would
tried
you
to
bring
turn
that
off
up?
any tracking? Well,
Now you're
because it's
using meta
something
knowledge
they would
against me.
well, it's something that fucking both of
Hmm.
them have shown a history of doing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Shaba would have.
Besides, that could be theoretically that could be against whoever you had set up the protocols for tracking, whether that be Ashira or fucking one of the NPCs or just whoever you had. Then
Well,
it'd be Shaba
it
rolling
was
against somebody
What would
else's
it go
roll.
against? What role?
well.
It'd be computers.
This is real easy. Ashira,
Yeah.
what is your bonus to computers?
at the current time, 31.
Right.
So that
Vesa,
makes you'd be a 51, which means that Shaba with her same number is 57.
Can I
So,
help? Because I mean, that's our ship. So
well, I
well,
mean,
that's
even with that, that'd make it a
well,
53.
hang on, let me
well,
look.
here's the thing. Since it's Ashira, are we saying that Ashira set up the tracking protocols on the ships?
Well, she's the best
Ashira
one.
would have been
Okay.
Ashira would
All
have been
right.
the one that like reset up this VI with
Yeah.
the upgrades that we gave it
All
when
right.
we redid the ship. Yes.
So then Shaba is going to have to roll against Ashira's target number of 51. So it's not going to be a straight up a straight up take 20. It's going to be it has to roll against that DC of 51. And Xander could help her if so choose, or Xander could make the roll. But either way,
If
this
Sandra
is
wants to help, that'd be fine.
because essentially you guys are under a stressful situation. You know the fire strike's going to be right after you. Well, Xander, that's a you're helping.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Not very
All
well.
right, Shaba. Shaba, you'll get the bonus though, because that's enough for a help roll. 44. Even with the help, you are not able to bring take the tracker, the
I'm
tracking
going to
off.
use my scholarly reroll.
Well, I
Yeah.
saw that. You got 42 and 44, even
No,
with
the thing
that doesn't.
clicked. It clicked for some reason. It clicked twice. I don't know why it did that.
The 42.
Right, it showed you got the 42, and then it showed a 44. Even with the +2 bonus on either of those, that still doesn't beat the DC
Yeah,
of
but just
51.
I'm saying that was from one click.
Yeah. He didn't
Okay.
roll twice on purpose.
He didn't mean to do the 44.
Okay. All right. So
We just don't want
when
you to roll a second time.
I want
I
him to
know
roll
you don't want me to
a second
disappear.
time.
I'm
we
just
still
trying to
got a
fix the world.
Ooh.
47, 48,
Close
49,
enough.
close, but
Can I
not
try?
We know
enough.
where you at.
No.
Well, you don't need to
Well,
try. It was your roll that, or
you don't
it's
need
your
to.
max that did it.
They're
Oh.
they're trying to beat your DC. Basically, the premise is they had you set up the tracking protocols for the Spitfire when they
Okay.
this is retroactively at some point they had you work on doing the tracking protocols, which is why they had to beat the DC of if you had taken 20, because we're assuming you took the time to take 20. They don't have the time to do that, so they have to make a flat roll. They were not able to beat they were not able to beat your DC. And Shaba, this probably is a level of respect. You recognize this has got to be
I
Ashira's
recognize the
handiwork, because
programmer.
there's very few other people who could challenge your ability to hack anywhere near the on this level. Like you're like, what does this look like as you realize that you're not able to break Ashira's, like tracking protocols?
She's sort of
Like
just
what is
she's standing there going, "Good on you." Yeah, you got me.
so there's that moment of respect that not bad, huh?
Yeah,
Mm.
there's like,
No.
it should be
Nice.
a fine replacement one day.
Yeah, you got the
I mean, to be fair,
but
she
it's
was your
still
replacement.
you're you're still going to have to
Yeah, but I
you
permanently
still
have
have
to
a
be there.
you still have a lead on them though. You still have the lead because that ship is faster and because it's going to take them a minute to get the power core back
It's.
online and get
I was gonna
moving
say,
again.
even if the power core was online, it's not like we're going to try and like catch up and attack her to stop her. At this point, it's
Right,
easier just to
right.
follow and
Well,
show up. Though
right.
I suppose we could try to ram her. Emergency speed now. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Right, but it's having the window open, trying to keep that window open to handle things your way.
Yeah,
Um,
that's not gonna
but
work.
you it's one of those things like Ashura and Shaba over the course of this thing have both like come across each other's handiwork and been like, fuck. because Ashira wasn't did well. The computers weren't even online for her to try to override the door controls on her room.
Yeah, that's still technically the best part of all of that was Ashura got stuck in her room.
She had to actually use her engineering skill to break through. So, all
Mm.
right, yeah. So maybe it takes what Twinkle. What is your reaction to all of this? Like in the middle of you guys trying to stop
Oh
Burnward and
yeah,
Zai from killing each other, Shaba stole the Spitfire. It like locked everybody down and stole the Spitfire and ran off with Xander and Loyalty -0.
Well,
I'm
Twinkle
ready
is
for
going to
it.
do what Twinkle does best. He's going to ignore everyone in this room, including Burnward's corpse, and Zai, because we'll have a talk later. And
Oh,
is going to probably try and identify where we need help the most.
All right. Well, it's probably going to take Ryan and Kolnak a few minutes to get a little bit to get the power core back online. So in the
now
meantime,
you as a Yusakai can go straight through those tunnels.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you can actually go through the Isekai like work tunnels to get from place to place. So the engine room could that somebody could stand to be on the bridge when the lights come back on. Although, you know, Scramjet probably updates that he's using the Isekai tunnels to try to get there himself too. You know, but there's also like lots of people who are locked in their rooms. There's lots of people locked in various places in the hallway. Because she locked down all the blast doors everywhere. So
Such a
it's a
smart
matter of
move.
do you want to? It's one of those things like do you want to use isekai tunnels to get to the bridge, to get to the engineering room, to get down and start trying to help people get out of their rooms? I mean, where would Twinkle feel like is the most help for him to do?
Well, bridge is where Shaba originally, put the entire ship on alert. Stands to reason that
Mm-hmm.
would be the best place to undo the alert.
All
Although,
right.
with Shaba's taking 20 roll, there's not really a hope in hell that I have of, actually rolling to take that offline. So, we'll have to hope that there's
Well, unless you get a
just
nat
an
20.
override. Okay,
Well,
so
the power core comes back on. It should reboot much of the system,
okay, well,
but it is having somebody on board to know, to prioritize what gets unlocked first,
yeah.
or or figuring out how to route everything.
All right.
So
Well,
yeah, I mean that's a
headed,
legit choice.
yeah, headed towards the bridge. Kind of looks over his shoulder at Zai and goes, "Get patched up. We got a lot of work to do." Kind of casts a glance
Yeah.
over at Burnward and then slips into the tunnels.
All right, Lee, what are you gonna do here?
Well,
You
besides,
also can fit through the Isekai tunnels, but you don't. Maybe I don't know if you know your way around them necessarily. May take a little bit of guidance from somebody.
yeah, yeah, he's gonna take the tunnels, but can he take the tunnels and stay near someone? Because rather than being guided, he'd rather just follow someone.
Well,
Then
your
I'd
could
guide is
follow.
leaving.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
Say
could
again?
follow Twinkle.
Yeah.
You know, say
I'm like, you should follow Twinkle.
Then he'll
We're going
definitely
to
follow
need
him
someone to fly.
because he's small.
Yes. By the way, Jester, it's really nice when you have a variety crew and half of them are short people, so the Isekai tunnels are super useful for everyone.
Well, now
Right.
listen here. I
Hey,
wasn't asked to be born a large creature. I
sir,
just created him
there's
large.
a reason that Slan has a rat folk belt and I have a rat folk belt. The fact that you don't have one means that we need to make you one, okay?
Well, here's the question: would that make me small or medium?
Well, he already took the feat that allows him to crawl through smaller spaces than, but the
Oh
fact
yeah,
that he's a
so
large reach allows him to crawl through medium spaces.
Yep.
I don't know that the
Mm.
rat folk belt stacks with that.
Yeah, I don't know that either. Honestly, it's been a while. I just know that I can squeeze through the tunnels because I wear one.
And imagine
That
the
was like
number of
lifetimes.
Yusuka you'd
Let's
have to
see.
skin in order to get a belt big enough for a bear.
Well, it's not literally made
It's
out of
I'm
isekai.
kidding.
yeah.
Okay,
This isn't
so
Pathfinder 2.
the belt gives you the ability to squeeze through an area as small as 1/4 your space without squeezing,
1/4.
or
Oh.
1/8 with squeezing. So yeah, I mean that probably would be a small area.
Eh. You know.
Just
You look like
barely.
a
It would be a
caterpillar
tight
walking through a
squeeze.
straw.
Yeah, pretty much.
You
A
come
bear
out, your
made
hair
out
would
of
all be like
toothpaste.
fuzzy. Yeah, that. Wait, Oliver, can't you turn into goo anyway?
It's a 10-minute. I have to spend 10 minutes to craft it. So
Oh, okay. So you have the
yeah.
ability to make something to turn into a puddle.
Yes, I can
But
turn it.
once
I can
you're a
get to a
puddle,
whole
you
like
can
1
go
millimeter
through a
size.
much smaller. Yeah.
Oh yes.
So yeah, all of us, even the huge ones, can get through tight spaces. Got it.
Yeah, Qualu would probably be in communication with you, Vesa, as well about like the situation. Like a number of our personnel are locked down in hallways between points, various points.
Mm.
Some of them were trying to react to alarms. Some of them were in security control centers. Some in the rooms. Says there is a bit scattered. So,
Yeah. Hurry. It'll be fine.
eh,
Everything's gonna be fine, you guys. We're gonna be fine. We're getting the power back on at some point. It's gonna be fine. This is fine.
I'm just letting you know what the situation is.
Good.
A status update, as it were, as far as my knowledge goes.
All right. Thank you, sir.
I think Vector actually comes on the comms and he's like from the research lab and he's like, I believe I can help you. He goes, I have a number of options. And he's like, and do you realize that out of an air vent floats like a little spy drone? He doesn't have them mechanically made to look like fairies. His look
No,
very
his just looks like
utilitarian.
his.
But he's like he's like until the power is up, I can send you limited transmissions through comms feeds of video. And he goes, in various parts of the ship. Is there anywhere in particular you would like to view?
Basic. Can you think of anyone?
Um. Uh.
Right. I expect my crew or basis crew and my
Like
crew
the
are doing
face.
their very best.
She's like,
Make sure I
Oh,
didn't
dude,
blow a
shit.
hole in the side of your ship.
I
Oh,
know you didn't
we're
because
not
I very
online yet.
specifically told the crew not to fuck with you. And if you did blow a hole in my ship, that was just malicious and you're dead to me. So
And you don't want that.
I'll blow you out of an airlock. I've done it before, I'll do it again. No, I think where are we right now? Where am I right now?
You're
I'm sorry, I had to
still
take a
with,
call.
a bloody Zai and a dead burn ward. We're about
Yeah,
to do
you
that.
guys are still where you were right at the end of last session. So you're still in the Hollow Entertainment Center, which is currently powered down with the gravity off, and with the gravity off and the lights are out in the deal. You had realized that Zai had rigged this room to blow.
Right.
Like you're the one who had like, wait a minute, I know my ship. That panel has been tampered with.
Yeah.
That one too. That one too.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure those are explosives
Make
are
a
planted
perception
on
check,
that
Amy.
panel. Yes,
Well,
she already did.
I did.
No, make another one.
No. Wow. Okay, fine. Hold on. Let me open up my.
You're like, I'm not
There
even
you
there.
are. I'm in there. I'm just like I got a lot of windows open right now.
I know you've been working.
Oh.
All right. Well, I'll tell you about it anyway.
Okay.
Zai shaped this entire room So only this room would have been vaporized and anything in it.
You know, the problem with
okay.
that is pressure.
Cool.
There, there's a reason why.
He was like, "That's a good idea."
Okay.
Good. Good. I'm glad
Um,
she thought to do that. I thought she had my back. She was just doing it so she could get away, though.
well,
But
okay.
yeah, let's talk about that real quick. So Shaba took the ship, but technically, since you let me come on board, I figured that ship was my responsibility while I was here. I mean, it was still yours. So you need to yell at me about that because I take full responsibility for Shaba taking that ship. Now, I am King's Eye, so that means I'll get you a new ship when we get back to our own reality. But what you really need to deal with right now is if you become as evil as that man that's dead there, I will do the same. And I expect you to do the same if I go that evil,
I, yeah, appreciate it. Listen,
right?
I'm not gonna yell at you over the loss of an
Well, and
incredibly
we'll get it
valuable
back.
asset. I know. I'm
Well,
I'm not gonna
probably.
I'm not gonna yell at you at the loss of an incredibly valuable asset that would happen to help us during this perilous time. And even though I really don't have a moral high ground to stand on in this moment, I just want you to know I'm incredibly disappointed.
No, you've been. Oh God, you've been mommed. I'm not mad.
Oh, I've disappointed.
A murderer. You
Well, no,
disappointed a murderer.
I'm still trying to say this in a way. I mean, like, you're my friend, and, Zai loves you and that sort of friendship kind of way. But
Yeah,
no matter how he says that, he's a dick. Because, like, Zai is disappointed in your
it's
threats than
fair.
you.
No, yeah. No, you should be disappointed in me. We're just disappointed in each other. It's totally okay to say that because it's right. It's
Uh,
fair.
Also, you know that Zai definitely, when he got naked, planned on dying. So he's probably a little disappointed in himself as well, right?
I think Vase is more upset about that. Like amongst all the
Mm.
other shit, like who gives a shit about the ship? We'll get another ship. We can't get another Zai. And that's probably something that I would say is just like
Well, you
this.
say that, but
Yeah.
you've seen others'
Wait,
eyes.
I mean, yeah, but
I was
not
gonna
this
say,
one.
wait. Did we just have a portal? Because I would love to have a boss fight against myself right now. I'm just kidding. I don't want to waste that kind of
Oh
time.
God.
But
Listen, from experience, boss fights against yourself are not fucking great. Okay, they suck. Uh, they're awful.
but you can say
Um,
things like, "I'm kicking my own ass."
yeah, it's true. It's very
All
true.
right.
No, I think that we're both
Anyway,
it's just a bad time and it just doesn't feel good. And it's like I don't care. I don't care about the ship. I'm pretty upset with you because, you're a grounding unit here.
Oh
And
yeah,
you're
absolutely.
yeah, you're
Let's
like
talk
the
about
whole
that.
thing that keeps us all together. And then you're just like willy-nilly down to like kill yourself,
The
which
real Captain Zai died with Nahir.
I mean, I
Ow.
think he
I
did.
I like your sub story that you keep trying to push there, sir. But I,
Really? At what point haven't you been a mopey, deplorable, useless waste of space?
Oh
In it
God,
for the
I'm
role
ooh,
glad.
I
play.
am so glad you're not there.
Shots fired.
Nice.
Oh my god, I love this so much.
You take
Yeah, I
every
mean,
opportunity to run away or delegate to other people. You send people that are not equipped for certain situations to certain situations, and when they fall on their face, you blame them instead of support them. What am I
Wait, when
missing
did I
here?
blame you?
Huh? Oh, not me.
oh,
I'm talking about the person that's floating dead in the corner of the room over there.
Right, he'll stop floating soon. Um,
And that was the takeaway.
yeah, I was good. I was like, girl,
uh,
good.
okay.
It's real.
By the way, Twinkle, you already have my vote. All right. Now,
Yeah.
As soon as
right.
we get the engine back online and gravity back, because these little wings won't last forever.
I mean, I can drive you around. I have a jetpack on.
Right. Well, that only lasts for a
Yes.
little while too.
Yeah, you're still gonna have to break your way through each individual airlock on your way,
Well,
which you
that's what
can
a
do. I
sure
mean,
is
you've got the
for.
tool.
Wait a
The
minute.
yeah, sure. Did you ever give me the engineering check for breaking out of your room? Actually,
Yeah, she
I
did
think
that
you
last
did.
time.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
she got
Yeah.
out.
Where
I
are
don't
you?
remember.
Like there, you have the hallway in front of you.
Oh
There's
yeah, I
only
forgot
so
I was
far you can
spinning out
go,
of
and
control in Vomit World. Yep.
Oh,
uh,
what's
Oh, I
the
guess I
what's
can't.
the DC we would have to
any
beat, by the way?
it's probably going to be about. I think it's about 20. So
Oh, to
and
open.
yeah,
Oh,
And you can use your engineering skill as well, Doctor Byrne.
yeah. I'm
I
not
mean,
gonna get the.
you're
I'm gonna get the blast door for the med bay open, so if people need to, they can get in. So I'm like
yeah,
kind of like
all right,
have the other guys direct me over. They're like, just push me. I'll grab on.
yeah.
I
So
still
Okay, now
have you,
what were
sir.
you saying, Jessa?
you've got a hallway in front of you, but in either direction you can only go so far before there's a blast door. And it looks like you're going to have to
I
like,
have gravity back,
well,
No.
Not
no
yet.
gravity. You're going to have
so
to,
I'm
and
still
you're going to have to
swimming in the
make.
air. Got it.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to give me an athletics or acrobatics check to try to
Oh
get yourself
God.
back together.
See, this is why you need a
Until
climb speed.
so
Oh.
That's good enough.
that's
Okay.
actually enough. You're able to regain control of yourself. Now, if you want to move in the hallway, either hallway beside you leads to like basically elevators going to
Hold on,
down
pause.
to engine. What?
I'm sorry. I need to focus because you said I regained
Okay.
control, and the first thing that went through my mind was inflatable tube man. Like I had to get that kind of control over myself. I'm sorry. Continue.
so So Sheriff Thompson does the wacky waving inflatable tube man, and then somebody
Dead.
no you have two directions you can go, one of which leads to an elevator that takes you down to the engineering deck and the shuttle bay decks, and one will take you back up to the bridge deck or the mess hall. Um,
This feels like
so
a dungeon
what?
where they're like, you see a door in front of you.
Well,
You come.
Check
suddenly
for
your ship
traps.
has the your suddenly your ship has become something of a dungeon. You don't have to touch for traps, but you well, I mean you can like
Okay,
We're fine, I
uh,
promise. I think.
fine.
We might be
Um.
fine.
Oh
but
my gosh.
either but I need to know which direction you're going, and I need an acrobatics check to get you from point A to point B because you're gonna have to leap off something and try to regain control of yourself.
Uh. Leap off of something.
Push
All
off
right,
the
hold on.
frame
What
of a
were the one
door.
was the mess hall and what was the other one?
One went to like one direction leads to the elevators. It'll take you to the deck with the mess hall, and take you to the deck and the deck with the bridge. The other one will take you to the engineering and cargo deck and shuttle bay cargo bay decks.
I would suggest heading to the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where your normal workstation is, so that would make sense if that's where you want to go.
Okay.
Like I say, so give me an acrobatics check to get yourself there without losing control and spinning. Just got to beat a DC of 20.
Okay.
See, this is why you should have a like quarter
You're
staff.
able to
Yeah.
you're you're able to get yourself there without spinning out of control.
Listen,
you
listen here, Zai.
you
We don't judge. Okay, calm down.
basically
Oh,
you
I'm
managed to
judging all the
push off.
time. Would you like me to judge everyone else too?
No.
So
Not
you
now.
Bring it on.
so
To all
you
the people.
managed to so you managed to push off of the door frame in the direction of the door, the blast door that's the hallway leading towards the elevators going to the upper decks, and you manage to get there and stop yourself without, hurting yourself or losing control. Now I'll need an engineering check to get through.
Okay.
You're working your way through. And I need engineering checks, by the way, from Ryan and Kolnak,
Okay, I got you.
since they're working on the
Oh,
getting
where
the
am
power
I?
core back online.
I found myself. Okay. The Jester wants me to do. How's that?
Freaking that one.
Right?
We've
Kolnak,
all
for
been there.
whatever, like he draws, like it's that moment where you have like a really bad brain fart and he's trying to go through all of like the processes. And he's like, wait, if I reroute there, no wait, did we unlock this first or that first?
And then
I
Ryan
don't
takes it
remember.
away
And
from
then,
him and turns it over and plugs it in.
and then, well, and then Ryan remembers exactly how they took it apart how they like the direct order they took it apart and was like, no, no, no,
Wait, Ryan has a real voice.
yeah,
He does?
You do.
yeah.
Oh my god! Yeah, no, I said, hold on. No. Turn it this way. Put it in, twist. Yeah, that's it. Like that. No, other way. No, your other left.
Fine,
Make
you
it
He's
do
like,
it.
yeah, I think it's that thing where it's like, he's like, quit saying left, clockwise or counterclockwise, you jackass. He's like, no, wait,
Well, if you can't tell your left from your right, then there's something wrong with you.
he's, he's like, it's all a bit of perspective when we're floating in the air in different spots now, isn't it? Then just like it fucking
You
gets
look at
it.
the panel.
You
You
reckon,
go to the left or to the right. It doesn't matter. That's down,
Ryan?
that's up.
You've worked with Kolnak enough to know that Kolnak probably realizes that he's in the wrong and he made a really dumb mistake here. But it's that dwarven stubbornness. Now he's just arguing with you because it became
Doesn't
an
want to be
argument and he's
wrong.
Because
invested.
he can.
So
He's just
this
he
turns
thinks he's
into
invested in argument for argument's sake at this point. He's just like,
so in other words,
uh,
this turned to a dwarf and an Irishman step into a bar.
yeah, pretty
Yes.
much. Like,
In fact,
uh,
Kolnak, drink beer.
Like eventually he storms off to go. Eventually he storms off to go plug something else in and does it the right way. But like for whatever reason, that one piece, he couldn't remember exact what order it went into. And it's just, it like he's probably fairly embarrassed he made such a stupid mistake. And of course, just being a dwarf, he's just going to be stubborn about it. like. Like, fine, fuck you then. I'm gonna go. He's like, I'm gonna go over here and do what the the trans arcane relays. You deal with it. Fucking throws
Don't
like
worry, I will.
throws a tool as he goes. Like ricochets off of a fucking well, it ricochets off of like a fucking bulkhead and almost hits one of the floating engineers who hasn't regained their shit yet. Fucking, it was like, yeah.
After
Yes.
this, we need to run them through more anti-grav training, I think.
Yeah,
Uh,
they'll be
well, I
fine.
think you probably need to run everybody through more anti-grav training.
Or
But
just
yeah, you
make grav
managed.
boots mandatory, mag boots mandatory.
I mean,
I was
that
gonna
is a
say, I
thing.
don't know why they're actually not part of the starter package at this point. I think we'll have to make amendments to that and get
I
everybody
say,
some.
why do you think Twinkle's not having any issues?
Well, he is the Boy Scout, so
Oh, is that a half-hearted attempt at a reverse jab?
no, it means you're prepared.
Uh
Deal with
huh.
the fact that it's okay.
Uh huh. You could have used
Uh-huh.
prepared instead of Boy Scout. You want to play that game? I'm out for blood tonight, dude.
Dad, the
Oh
captains are
shit!
Well,
fighting.
we're not fighting. We don't have that kind of time.
That's right.
Yeah,
I mean, there literally was just a fight. So, I mean, technically.
I know. I waste it all the time.
and there's a yeah. So I think as it goes, like Twinkle, you and Scramjet managed to make it to the bridge before Ashira
And
does.
Lee.
Um, well, yep,
Don't
and
forget
Lee,
Lee.
because you're following along with
Yep.
uh, you're following Twinkle, so you make it up there too. Um, Vesa and Zai, do you guys just stay put and wait for the power to come back on, or are you trying to break your way through some bulkheads, or what are you up to?
Honestly, I think this is a great opportunity to sit and wait for the power to come back on and just be like, Zai, what the fuck are we doing? And like just have a real conversation.
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
so at some point, a greater power decided that I needed to help save the universe and has made it my duty to do so. Otherwise, I don't know why we're here either. It's a fact.
Well, I know why you're here.
I mean, come on. I hang out with disreputable people and literally told a crazy android to do whatever he wanted with the fate of the universe because I was going to go fight somebody or die trying.
Do you think that was the best idea?
Well, up until you broke his heart, yeah, I did. But recently, I've
How
discovered
did I
that you
break
broke
his
Xander's
heart?
heart.
Oh,
What do you mean, how?
What did I miss? Was Can someone fill me in, please?
on
Why do you
last
think he
week's
left with
episode.
Shaba? Who was he loyal to completely and 100%?
I thought it
You.
was Twinkle until, it wasn't Twinkle. So I don't
No.
really know.
But
Did
Xander
I
left with Shaba for lots of reasons. To get
was
the
it
I'm
sifter was
sorry.
definitely one of them, but if he
If
was
doesn't
it
have a
Xander,
the
broken heart,
fucking was it
if,
because of the murder?
no, the murder was just
Yeah.
one of the last straws.
if
Yeah,
I
it was
think it's
if
probably
all the
that.
talk you've
Xander,
been doing about, I think you call him abs.
Oh, that's just in fun. I don't want to sleep with that.
Oh no, we're not accusing anyone of wanting to sleep with anyone. It's just something that would,
What were you
Xander
going to say,
is.
Daniel?
Go
if
ahead, Daniel.
Xander was going to be loyal, he'd be called Loyalty One. So I mean,
No, Loyalty 1 already exists.
Uh,
Loyalty 0 probably killed him at some point.
Brr.
I just Riker face palmed, sir.
Well,
Now,
I didn't realize that I was affecting him that much. Really.
me, I really haven't been right since Nahir died.
I didn't know you before Nihir, so I don't know what right is then.
Mm.
Which is
So, you know how everyone has that little voice in their head that keeps them from going too fucking crazy? Yeah.
yeah.
I never had one of those and was raised as a rich kid who then found a lower class friend who saved his life, and then in return, it was a back and forth. And then we got kicked off of the home. And so I went from being a rich kid to being a poor kid with an anger complex. And Nahir was always that voice that was like, look, I know you're going to fuck up because you're angry, but this is enough. And he was the one person that I almost always listened to, like 94% of the time. But occasionally I was just like, fuck you, you're not my dad.
Yeah. It sounds like you have some unresolved issues that would be great to work out when we're not all in a different
Trying to save
universe.
the universe.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
past that, you, for Zai, when you came on board, became one of those happy little sparks that keeps him in line and makes him want to do the right thing. Because I will tell you right now, Tyrant King Zai, that probably lives somewhere in this fucking universe, all of this shit would have been stopped because I would have killed lots of people already. In fact, I'd probably work for the DOB and be trying to fucking kill myself right now so I couldn't save the universe. And so I take some joy in that. I mean, if anybody's going to kill me, it should be me.
Yeah. Well,
But the thing is there are enough things that I care about in this universe still that I still try to be good King Zai. Zai the tyrant, Zai the pirate, Zai who gets drunk and doesn't give a fuck. Zai who just pays other people to beat people's ass because he doesn't really feel like it. That guy's not really that much fun. I swore, after Slef died, that I would not endure true evil, and Burnward proved yet again, as I pushed the floating corpse away from us, um, proved that he was not going to ever be good.
I
You say
Vesa,
that he
give me a.
followed.
By the way, Vesa, give me a culture check here. I want to see how deep your knowledge about Kasathan culture is.
okay. Hang
Oh,
on.
you've learned.
She gets
28
more than
You've
that.
learned a few things. Yeah.
45.
So you've learned a few things over the years, and now that you think about it, some of these things are starting to make a little bit more sense with Zai. Like you always wondered why he only had two names. Most Kasathans have like 4 or 5 names and then their clan name. Zai only ever had the two, Zai Volveto, and usually he only uses the one. So being an outcast makes a great deal more sense in that respect, and using an abbreviated name is
Yeah.
something that is indicative of exiles and outcasts.
I
Him
realize
telling
it's
you
only
that,
been like 15 minutes of game time, but that's the first time you've ever heard Zai like throw a whole bunch of like stuff into his name.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's basically like the one of the big things here is Kasathan culture is very about clan and tradition. Like they are similar to dwarves in that respect, in the fact that it's all about their clan and their traditions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for him to have grown up in a privileged family in a culture like that and then to be cast out would be even more traumatic than, a lot of other places, because not only is he being cast out of money and privilege, he's being cast out of an entire culture that is all about its own culture. That
Mm-hmm.
there's probably as much as which probably has something to do with why he's often doesn't adhere to a lot of the traditional cultural Kasathan things. The fact that he doesn't wear a mask half the time, especially around non-Kasathans. The fact that he'll eat and drink
Yeah.
in front of people.
You have
Things
only
like this
seen
are
two
not
Kasathan
typical
faces,
Kasathan. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and
exactly.
that's the unannihilated's face and mine. Other than
Mm-hmm.
that, no one that's what the
Unfulfilled.
Kasathans, yeah, unfulfilled. None of the unfulfilled, like, they go to the rooms to eat, they lock the door. You've never seen any of their bottom halves.
Yeah.
And
And when occasionally you hear them whisper when I walk through and I'm not wearing my mask because they think it's, unkasathan like.
Mm-hmm.
and the other part of this too is Kasathans place a great deal of interest in honor, right? And that may make you look at the way that Zai has handled various issues a little bit differently, because there are hints of some code of honor in there, very corrupted by circumstance and by being cast out. But there's like he's very much a non tries to be a non-traditional
Yeah.
Kasathan, but there's always going to be some element ties you back to where you came from to some extent. So it kind
I
of gives you maybe you're gaining a little bit more insight into the complexity of, where Zaya's at or comes from, to some
th-
extent. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know that
there's a
you would
reason that
necessarily have
Zai
to see it as
surrounds
an
himself.
excuse or anything, but
No.
you know,
There's a
Yeah.
reason Zai surrounds himself with everyone. While it appears that he tries to collect one of everything,
Mm-hmm.
it's because not being bound by tradition allows him to have a wide variety for tradition to come from. Like, if Zai were to actually have children, he would teach them the things that he does, and then they would continue
Yeah.
on with that on their own and make it their own.
So like a
yeah,
friendsgiving instead of I gotcha. I got you. It's
yeah,
like
But
it's found family. My dude, I think we're all
yeah.
found family
it's
here.
kind of the reason that Zai likes Ashira is she's not normally, though she has been recently, a snotty, privileged elf.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, She's an elf who goes, most of those guys are assholes, and I'm willing to say that.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on. I make air quotes. My girlfriend just stole your ship and Xander to go find the sifter. Now,
Yeah.
it's not like we're full on a couple or something, but as far as it goes, I haven't been with anyone since I fell in love with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shaba. Yes, I love Shaba. Yeah.
That's
There's a
fair.
shot.
Everybody does. Everybody loves Shaba.
Mm,
You just
Oh.
are infatuated.
Lee's kind of annoyed with Shaba.
yeah, that
Vasa's a
happens
little
a
annoyed
lot.
with Shaba.
Uh,
Um, yeah,
Would anybody
well,
be annoyed with her? Like, what's wrong?
yeah,
Yeah,
she'll make it up.
the Shaba from Lee's universe was the Queen of Fury.
Mm,
So
right. Let's
yeah.
see. Super dangerous.
she is still
I
super
get it.
dangerous.
Oh yeah, she just yes. I don't really I mean with less people behind her, I don't even know. It's got my boyfriend who I've hurt and I'm upset about that.
Well, and what
And I
remains of
could
her
be
Oh
wrong.
no,
correspondence
Xander's
too.
just like, no, you haven't hurt me. I don't give a fuck, bitch.
He's
No
like, nope.
fucks given.
I like my version of it better, but Xander's the truth teller.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, he's more concerned about saving the multiverse, but hey, believe what you want.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I've been around Xander long enough to
Yeah.
know it's not necessarily saving it. It's in his mind fixing it. Those are two very
I like
different
that.
things.
Either that or making it less annoying for him.
Again, fixing it.
Well, if he wanted to make it less annoying, he'd just unmake himself.
Uh,
It's a good thing he wasn't
Wow.
around to hear that.
the
Wow.
I love
but
Xander.
yeah,
Calm down.
I think like they finally get the power core back online. Twinkle, you and Lee and Scramjet have made it to the bridge by this point. Ashira, you made it through like several bulkheads when the power comes back on. Um, and I guess my question is uh, who goes for the door control locks first? Like who's gonna
I
attempt to
did
break the
tell.
lockdown first?
I did technically tell Ashira to do it. I mean, that was on personal comms though, but we have open comms, so holy
Yeah.
crap! I just lost everyone but
You're,
Scott.
Oh, I had to turn mine off. My husband's about to steal the space
Okay.
from me.
so Shira,
Yes.
purple. Are you attempting to get the doors all open for everybody?
Oh yeah.
Power came back
Do you
on.
need a
Yeah.
roll?
Please.
Yeah. The
Fucking
the system rebooted, so basically you're just trying to be like, no, let this program run right now, right fucking now.
computers
Don't
or
wait.
engineering?
Computers.
Computers, because the power's back on.
Reboot.
40.
That's should be good.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're fine. Like Ashira, like the power comes back on, and Ashira, like the door you were working on you were working on, you hear like the power comes back on, and you're like the door you were working on. There's a terminal right next to it. There's a terminal close to it. You kind of go over that. You look over and you're like, ah, great. Now I can do this the easier way. And you kind of like look through as it's scrolling through the reboot process, and you prioritize the doors get open. Um, you can do you like tell everybody you're doing this, or does everybody just like find out when the doors just start opening?
This
Ooh,
one.
I don't know, because I always feel like those scenes where they don't know someone's coming and then suddenly the door opens in movies. Like I feel like those are very impactful scenes.
Right.
for the not necessarily only for the character, but anyway, I don't know. So probably honestly, I would probably just try to get through shit because I'm kind of stubborn.
All right. So you get the doors open.
Yeah.
The rest of you find out the doors are open when the lights come on, and like a minute and a half later, the blast doors start opening around you, like ka-choom, 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 what have you. Um, and Ashura, you have a clear path to get to the bridge.
On my way.
Uh, And Twinkle, you and Lee are already on the bridge, and the power is back up.
Time to do an
Alright.
engines check.
You have 30 seconds for your engine check, and then I need those engines running. Kind of looking around the helm. Alright. Turns on comms. Ladies and gentlemen, as acting captain of the... This is the Fire Shrike, yeah?
Nope,
No.
Or the
Stellar
no, this
It's
is
the
Stellar Flare.
stellar flare. Fucking
As
when you say that, I'm gonna look at Zaya and be like, that bitch.
acting captain of the Stellar Flare, I advise that you please buckle your seatbelts and get ready to chase a ship.
This motherfucker.
Yeah,
Quick
Isaki
side
I'm
and
not
note.
Bazik
buckling.
are
I'm
standing.
going. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna go. You're heading to the bridge now.
Yes,
What he said?
immediately. Just annoyed.
You're like she basically get up and do that fucking that motherfucker walk.
Yes.
I am currently the
Uh,
acting captain until the captain steps on the bridge.
I know. I'm just fucking
Yeah.
with you. It should be fine.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys hear that announcement
Teleport,
and what
teleport,
have you,
teleport.
and
Oh
fucking.
yeah, it's a key and
Ashura, you're
Bazik.
gonna
What
make.
are they doing?
Yeah, they're standing there and like they're like, I was wondering when someone would make their way back up here. And it's
Oh,
just
you
Isaki
lost your
speaking.
only
Bazik
charge.
isn't.
Can it?
He's like,
Oh.
you lost your best researcher also, and it appears a ship.
Burn.
If we're gonna play point the finger, we can do that after we go get Xander. Turning back to
Yeah, she's like,
yeah,
Lee.
turning back to Lee and going, so engine
would you
check.
like to know where they're? Would you like to know where they're at, or would you like to know where they are going?
Better yet, he says, pointing at a bank of computers on the side, maybe you could just plug it in the nav over there.
And it's like, she's like, you could ask nicely.
Really? Because that would be more than you've ever done for us.
He's like, oh no, I seem
Could
to
you plug
recall
the-
a battle on
L-
Octurn where
Lee interrupts. Could you put the numbers into the computer, please, so I can point us in the right direction and we don't lose the people who are taking our other ship?
Diplomacy check.
Diplomacy.
yeah,
Should I do a diplomacy check? Because this will be
yeah,
horrible.
you can. You,
I was gonna
you
say-
You could
can.
roll a 1. That's not bad.
I think Isaki probably does glance over and go, this one at least has some manners, and it just kind of and it's like, I can't give you coordinates, but I know where they're going. He's like, they're going to try to trade some technology for the Loyalty One.
All right, I pull out my
Not
little
Xander one?
compad. Location of
Or Xander One, sorry.
location of Xander 1 in this current galaxy.
Yeah, it's like the you get a scrambly a scrambly thing, and she's like, this place, from my understanding, and she's like, from what your friend Melps said, is outside of normal understanding of time and space. It was also my understanding that tracking such things is impossible even for the indexes. Too much variable.
That is
And
Fine,
like,
then I guess we'll just pull up the tracking signature on the Fire Shrike.
Ashira, you managed to make it onto the deck, and you hear that Twinkle say that. You know you know exactly where that's at and how to do that, because you're the one that fucking revised those protocols yourself.
Ah, Captain on deck.
So, well,
Hi.
no,
Oh, that's
Ashira's a
Ashira, my
captain.
bad.
Oh,
Yeah,
hi. Hi.
Yeah, I
She's not a captain anymore.
yeah.
Sure, you walk up and you hear him talking about like, oh, well, then we need to activate the tracking protocols.
But she is the one to ask about that.
Yeah.
Ashira, activate the protocol.
This
Don't
is Ashira.
do
Would you do the
it.
honor?
Don't do it.
Join Team Shaba, Ashira. Are you gonna make the roll there?
You're muted if you're talking.
Talking this whole fucking time. Oh my god. Yeah, one sec. I gotta scoot up to fucking get to my shit. Okay, no, I was saying, well, now I'm confused. I don't know what to do because they were like, do it, don't do it, do it, don't do it.
What do you mean don't? The only
You
people
have
that are
the
saying
angel and the
don't
devil
doing
on
it
your
are
shoulder.
literally
Chris was
Shaba.
like,
Well,
Chris was like,
here's the
do
deal.
it, and then somebody else said something.
Yeah,
I
Brian said don't do it because Brian is
Yeah.
Shaba.
So don't
Yeah,
make me feel
Shaba-
like I'm crazy and I heard shit. Like
No, and then I
it
was all like,
happened.
But
join Team
Shaba's,
Shaba.
yeah, Shaba's not there to tell you not to do it. uh, uh, Twinkle and Zai are there to communicate with you, so you would
Yeah,
hear what they were
please.
saying.
That's what we forgot. We forgot to say please. There you go.
Well, basically, look, of course Shaba's not going to want you to track Shaba because Shaba is Shaba.
Yeah.
So
She does what she wants.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a
So,
little chaotic
So you
that
do
way,
it.
isn't she?
so
Yeah.
you
She is.
you don't even have to make a roll. All you have to do is step up to the panel and press a few buttons.
Oh, you're like
You guys,
Thank-
I've planned for this my entire life. Button mashing.
yay! You're officially a Jetson.
Buttons. That's why I can't. And yet another reason of the million I should not play console. I'll break controllers.
Yeah, so
Guys,
you
you're
managed to
flying.
go over. You
Well,
managed
yeah,
to
you
go
are
over.
flying.
You managed to go over and hit a bunch of buttons, making sure at least one of them was the tracking one. Um, the you have a bead on where they're going. You know, and like and more than that, you know where the actual moon is that they're trying to go to. Now that Iskew, was like, yeah, they're gonna go try to trade some technology for Xander One, or, but being able to track where the ship actually is, because Shaba probably takes a few detours and stuff, I'm sure.
Just through a few gravity wells, ozone layers. Just really make it.
And
Layers.
I was gonna say, now that the ship is actually moving, Twinkle would take a small breath, turn to Isaki and Bazik, and say, I apologize to both of you for acting the way I did. The current situation is just a little frustrating.
the they're like, I don't know what it necessarily looks like for a Vesk for a big lizard alien to raise an eyebrow. But you get kind of that expression anyway, that really like like they just watched one of your crew teleport away with their charge, and they're like in the middle of chaos, like they're like, "Well, take control of the ship and then teleport away and steal a shuttle." Yeah,
Well,
like,
hey,
Ah,
it's
yeah,
not like they're strangers to Twinkle. They have been with Twinkle for
yeah,
months. They would know that if he was at fault for
yeah.
something, yeah, he'd apologize for it.
Yeah, yeah, they
Right. You talk about Psy being back and forth.
but yeah, they would definitely uh and like and yeah, they you also remember that like they had they have contributed in fights from time to time too.
Oh, sure they
Um
have.
but but the yeah, you've got your tracking going. Vesa, you managed to make it on deck. Zai, did you follow her to the bridge, or did you go somewhere else? What are
Well,
you
once
doing?
she could
Are you gonna?
finally get, yeah, yeah. I mean, the
I was
only
gonna say,
reason I
or were
stayed
you,
was because she was the only person that couldn't use the isekai tunnel to get out of that room.
We
I
could
mean,
have left her
or
otherwise I would have
behind.
been
It would
like,
have been fun.
follow me and we'll talk in the isekai tunnel. But I knew she couldn't. That's why I stayed.
Why can't I take the Isekai
or
tunnel?
Because I haven't made you a rat folk belt for you to wear so you can do it.
Rap vote? I want
yeah,
a rap vote. That sounds cool.
I'm down later.
basically they talk about these isekai tunnels. The isekai they've had on board, and isekai do this sort of generally anyway, build like really small tunnels for small sized creatures to crawl through, so they can get to harder to reach points to work on shit and whatnot.
Mhm.
So like Slef used to hide some of his drugs in there in some of these tunnels.
At
Nerks
this
used to
point, all
find
those
them
have
and
been
steal
found.
them.
Hmm.
Um, your gnomes and halflings and isekai and goblins
Yeah,
can get through them, but like
Whistle
everybody else
Fizz
either
always
needs.
uses them.
Yep, Whistle Fizz uses them. You can, but the rest of you, if you're medium or larger sized creatures, you're going to have something that helps you squeeze through a smaller space to do that. And the Rat Folk belt is the thing. There's also a feat you can take, which
Yeah,
Oliver Byrne has.
Oliver has it.
Um, my my
Also,
question is, yeah,
I take that back. On the way there, I do hit Oliver's comm and I go,
yeah, I was
"Hey
gonna say,
Oliver, can you come to the bridge? I'm kind of broken."
On
And then
my
once I get
way.
to the bridge, I need to rest for 10 minutes to recover my stamina.
Need more
okay, yeah.
details would have been my answer.
Uh Also, everyone else that was in that fight should probably do that now. Let's all rest for 10
While we run? Oh,
minutes.
Yeah, rest and
Well,
run.
no.
Well,
Once
I
Multitask.
once we're
mean,
on the bridge.
well, if Lee is piloting, he doesn't get the opportunity to do
no.
that just now
Uh,
because he's
Yeah,
piloting.
okay, in 10
he,
minutes,
Mickey.
he's
Lee, I'll
pilot.
take over and you can rest for 10 minutes.
When we get to the bridge, I'm
Captain
gonna
on the
look at
bridge.
Twinkle and be like, "Thank you, acting captain," and I'm gonna fucking wink at him, even though I don't know if we're in that fucking position to be in that kind of friendship anymore.
He
And
still loves you. He's just disappointed. Yeah, how does it feel?
it
Oh,
sucks. It sucks.
Oh.
Let's
I
talk
hate it.
about who's disappointed with who later.
Oh, whatever.
It
I'm not even.
Well,
sucks.
so far nobody's disappointed in Ashira because Ashira's been
No,
basically
Ashira is
hanging around.
great.
She kind of doing her thing, like, oh, things need to be done. All right.
Yeah.
I'll
She's
do
like,
them.
oh, hey, the doors were locked because this went down.
Yeah.
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 I probably walk in and I just
She
look
hasn't
straight.
murdered anybody. She hasn't murdered any innocents recently to get for
I
anybody to be
actually,
I
disappointed.
didn't. Go ahead. What was
I
that?
No,
actually
not
haven't
you.
had. Are you talking about Ashira or Amy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ashira.
Okay. Well, Vesa, whatever.
I know. Amy
This is
murdered
Amy.
people.
There
Vasa's
hasn't,
fine.
like, other than the battle and stuff like that, there hasn't honestly in a while that I remember that Ashira has had like one of her shitty days, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
haven't,
Right
and
on.
you're like, I haven't killed anybody. Well, I haven't even acted out like I was going to. I didn't
Yeah.
think, but maybe.
No. No.
You mean
Good.
egging on Vesa a few hours ago or a few days ago? That didn't count.
Nah, it's fine.
But,
Fine.
Mm,
eh,
well, I guess there is
and
that.
actually, speaking of that, on the way there, I would have mentioned that. And I was like, and honestly, I'm worried about Ashira because Nerx isn't here to counterbalance her. And
Anymore.
you are leaning on that same side. So she's all like, "Yep."
It could go downhill.
And the
No
weights
line.
go flying.
We're gonna be fine.
So,
That's the
unbeknownst to
thing.
everyone, this is totally unrelated, but I
Go
thought
ahead.
of this yesterday. Unbeknownst to everyone, Ashira has found a new hobby to keep herself busy. In her room, and then whenever she gets to free time or whatever.
Oh.
Basically, and you can tell me if I'm not allowed to do this, but basically, I was gonna say she just goes around the ship, and if like she finds
Junk
junk,
type items.
thank you,
Mm-hmm.
junks, and creating little pineapples, and every time she finds a hula girl, she's gonna put a pineapple with it.
Just making little metal pineapples to put in.
Or I
See,
could have
can
gone
see
the route
Ashira-
of used grenades and just hope they were all used. Or
Well,
duds.
Live grenades, but that's still funny.
I get just to see Ashira like putting together these little pineapples to put with the hula girls and doing like the little painting and everything, and like she's got the little fucking paintbrush.
She's got the
Like,
magnifying
Like
glass.
glasses,
roleplay miniatures.
the Rick Moranis glasses from like Honey I Shrunk the Kids. With his
Yeah.
eyeballs. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's
everything
great.
about this.
That's awesome.
I'm sorry.
God.
That's
No.
good stuff.
Perfect.
Okay, so we're following them. We'll eventually catch up with them. What are we doing in the meantime besides scanning the area to make sure that we're not getting attacked by Slef clones?
Oh, I
Getting
know.
treated.
I know.
Oh, I'm ready to be treated. Fix me.
Twinkle, you look real mad. What's wrong?
I just had the moment. It's over. It was done by the time you got on the bridge. I don't need to
Sure.
rehash everything that's gone on up to this point, do I?
No, but I mean, I just wanted to see you yell at Zai
You just
again.
you just want to poke my buttons. Gotcha.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you make it
Yeah.
sound like it's such a bad thing.
It kind of is.
Only a little.
I mean, pushing buttons, that's the sign of a
Is that-
sociopath. So.
What?
Look, if you want to get a rise out of me, you should have done it an hour ago.
Oh, well, an hour ago I was trapped with Zai hearing about how sad everything is, and I get it, and that's unfortunate. But
No,
now we're in
everything's
it.
not sad. I mean, I have a good crew. Occasionally, I choose horrible people to be on it, but they're good at what they do. Not you
fact.
specifically, but
Well,
I mean, Slef, like my love for
Look,
Slef
you
knows
killed
no bounds.
Burnward. Can we please
Oh,
be
yeah.
done with this now?
Well,
Can you please
sort of.
stop talking about it now?
Were we talking about killing Burnward?
I mean, I
Well,
wasn't talking
you
about
were
killing
just
Bernard.
implying that, sometimes bad people are on your crew. And generally, the ones you kill, you tend to think are bad. So, can we please be done with this conversation
Does it
and
help
focus
that I
on
think
things?
I'm bad?
A little
Can we please focus
specific to get mad
on
at
getting
something
out
like
of here?
that.
I thought we
Okay.
already started doing that.
I'm
leaving.
talking
I thought this
about
was-
beyond following the fire Shrike. I'm talking about what we came here to do and getting out.
Yes. That will happen. That's what Xander is going to do.
So-
We're following him to the point where we can get stuff done.
Speaking of Xander and
Xander.
Shaba, let's cut over to you. You currently have the two of you and Loyalty -0. The rest of your remaining crew from your other ship you left back on the Stellar Flare. So it's the three of you on the Spitfire. What is your move here? Are you trying to shake off pursuit, or are you going to? Well, yeah, I mean, you're aware that they can track you at this point. Like you weren't able to discern. Like maybe we come in just off of the heels of that sort of revelation. Who's flying the ship right now? like
I
who's
am.
piloting? Xander, yeah.
Oh, so you're
We
talking
get Xander at the control. We get Xander at the controls. Loyalty is probably on the deck, but he's not like really doing any particular job right now. He's just kind of like um, leaning up against the wall, and he's like, "So what's the plan? We're
Well, we
supposed
fly
to."
that way, and then we fly that way, then we fly that way, and then we fly that way, and then we get to our destination.
He reaches like he's going to pull out his pistol and point it at you again, and then just decides, I'm not going to spend the effort this time. And he kind of looks,
You'll get a
and he's
chance later. Calm down.
like, and he kind of look, and he goes, "I meant more generally. I mean, I get that you want to." He looks at Shaba. He's like, "I get that you want to trade a bunch of Slef's old junk for Xander 1. What's the plan for if they say no, or if they just decide to shoot us out of the sky? We're undermanned. We can't take on a prison facility, bod detention facility, with just the three of us in this ship."
Well, if it comes down to it and they do start shooting at us, well, they're mainly doing it because they want me. So I could just check myself out of the airlock in my suit.
He kind of looks at you and he's like, "And their sensors are going to be fine tuned enough to know that you're not on the ship and stop shooting at the ship. Is that the plan then?"
Well, we could talk to them. Like, hey, what's up?
I'm gonna talk to them.
Well, I figured we were going to talk to them anyway, but what happens if they say no and they decide they want to?
Quite
They'd
honestly,
rather.
then we turn around and book it as fast as we can. Because you're
He
right,
goes,
this ship wouldn't even be able to handle what they got.
he's
No.
like, he kind of shrugs and he's like, "Then how do you get the objective? The objective is to get Xander 1, right? And I can't
Yeah.
go on about my business until we find this Xander 1, find out what he knows, do whatever it is that we got to do with this Valatesh." So
He really wants to shoot me in the face, so you got to have a more effective plan so he can shoot me in the face.
Well, you have a more effective plan. Because
he
quite
goes,
honestly, it's the three of us. So let's have a powwow.
and he's like, "Well, I would tend to suggest subterfuge. I would tend to suggest stealth and subterfuge." He goes,
Does
"How
this thing
good are
have
you?"
stealth?
He's like,
No, this thing doesn't have stealth. But I got a few spells that could help in that category.
uh, "Obviously, we'd have to land outside, try to find a way to land outside of its sensor ranges and whatnot. But are any of you are how are you at sneaking?" He sees you give the thumbs up, and he's like, and he just kind of squints a little bit. You're
I mean, I
you're
can
not sure.
try.
he's like he's like he looks at you, Shaba.
You know I can turn invisible.
He's like, "Yeah, the question with you is how long will you maintain that visibility?" He goes, "I've heard about," he says, "I've seen and heard firsthand how you tend to operate. You sure you can keep it under wraps long enough for that?"
Let's just say I don't have certain people that would egg me on to do it. I
He's
want this as much as he does. Because when I'm
yeah,
done with this, I'm back to Broken Rock. I'm getting my own ship, and I'm gonna do what I like doing, and that's being a pirate.
he's he's like
Ah,
he goes he goes it's you he goes well it's your he says it's essentially your mission and your quest or whatever. He goes, you come up with the plan. I'll try and I'll do my best to see it forward and through, but man, I hope it's a good one. He's just like he,
Yeah,
he,
you
he
need both.
he's like the circuit, the Fire Shrike circus, and exactly always instill me with confidence.
Fuck you, loyalty.
he's just he's like he's like
Loyalty, I've been away from these guys long enough to realize Zai'll kill me, but you're right.
he's like he's like could count on a certain amount of professionalism when Nahir was, and not so certain now.
No.
He was like,
Why do you keep trying to get me to fight people? I mean, Justin.
he's,
Look, loyalty is just a dick for the hell of it, so I'd ignore
loyalty
it.
is
Yeah, I know.
yeah, loyalty's always been kind of an asshole, but
Well,
he
Yeah.
clearly
I don't actually know any of this.
he clear right, exactly, but he clear like Shaba, you can tell he clearly had at least some professional level of respect for Nahir.
Well, yeah, Nahir was badass. We just had a whole conversation about.
Yeah, he was just like but yeah, it's uh like Xander, uh give me a piloting check here. I want to see, and I need to. Okay.
I mean, we
See,
do know
give
that
me.
they can track this thing, so eventually they'll show up and maybe save us if the negotiation doesn't work as we originally planned. So, hey, we'll delay them.
So it's gonna take you 3 days to get there, and you would know that, Xander. Um, uh, I don't know that anybody
I
else
mean,
necessarily knows it. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else on the deck necessarily knows that, unless you feed that information to the captain's chair or wherever Shaba's sitting,
be
or
like,
say it out loud.
Should be in the
be like,
captain's chair for now.
I'd be like, well, you do know we have 3 days before we get to our destination, so there's plenty of enough time to plan.
He's like, he's like, well, I'm might as well go take stock of what we have in inventory, use in any possible attempts that it might help us figure something out. And he kind of, and he's like, besides, I'm thirsty. Wonder if there's any more of that fucking
Sangleberry.
Zangleberry gin that fucking goblin of yours like used to make lying
You
around.
said
He kind of
Zangleberry Gin, and I heard Jim, and I was like, I bet that motherfucker goes to Bluegrass. Zangleberry Jim.
no,
That's all I thought about.
no, okay.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
he goes off to ostensibly look for um, look and see what equipment is available and try to find some booze to drink. and
Yeah.
uh, he he's not having the best of days. And it's going to be 3 days until they get there, so he doesn't need to necessarily be sober right this second.
Yeah, it's 3 days.
Though
He's
you
stuck
can't,
with us.
Wait,
though, though you can't imagine him getting super drunk
Jester,
either.
did you take into account the fact that they have a kick-ass drift drive now?
Mm.
I
No.
mean,
What does that do? I forgot you upgraded the drift drive. Was
oh
that
yes,
it changes your travel time, doesn't it?
I believe so.
By
I'm googling now.
Does it like have it or what?
Oh,
I need to go to starships, and I need to go to drift drives, not thrusters, drift drives, drift engines. Let's see. Category.
it has a signal 4 or a signal superior, I believe.
Right. Okay. Starships engage drift and drift. So 206 as it's telling me to look at real quick here. Wait a minute. Space travel? Travel point to point. Travel in system, 1d6 days.
Oh, it's in system.
Yeah, because you guys are you guys are actually in the system. This way you know where it's at. Because you did scanning for it.
Yeah, we were here for days.
Satellite, get into orbital. Travel in system. 1d. Oh. 26 traveling between planets, same starship, fluctuates based on those. Drift navigation. Drift rating of 2, traveling to a world in the vast. Roll 5d6 and divide the result by 2. Okay, so yeah, it'll take a day and a half then. So.
Oh wait, these are better engines. It'd actually be half that. Oh, he already left. Who cares?
Yeah, so you're.
Okay, we could catch him up later.
Yeah, and there's a. Yeah, so you make your coordinates and you start heading that way. Back on the stellar flare, are you guys going to try to directly follow the Spitfire, or are you going to try to go where you know they're going? Because Ashura, you know where this detention center moon is.
Well, and we have their basic trajectory, right?
Well,
from her tracking program.
Yeah, you can track more or less where you can track where she's at and what have you.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is based on her trajectory, does that appear to be where she's headed?
Would you like to sense motive to see if Isaki was lying?
Oh.
Because Isaki told you that's where she was headed.
I can. Vesa?
I think she's in the middle of moving downstairs.
Oh, well, eventually Vesa should have done this, but since she isn't here.
I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm here.
Vesa,
I
you should
literally
also be sense and moving. So
I can't.
Okay.
When you get
but
there.
then I got to mute again here in just a second, but I could do that right now. Where am I? Where's my body? Where's my body? Oh, my stupid ass dog is fucking stupid because she's yelling. Okay, sense motive. This bitch is fucking screaming at the damn neighbors. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, I get expertise for that too.
What is this? I'm so far back. I gotta scroll down. Oh, that's trash. Hang on.
So you're basically trying to determine whether Isaki was lying about where Shaba and them were going.
42? 42?
42.
She's absolutely not lying about where they were headed.
I'm gonna look at her and be like, I want
the
you
best
out of an airlock right now.
You want what?
Never mind.
I heard something about an airlock.
What I heard too.
No, never.
Now she said padlock, right?
So, before we sink our only other chance at going where we want to go, can we just go?
Yeah, let's just go.
Give me a piloting check, Lee.
Computer?
Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I need to get going toward. Oh wait, which way are we pointing now? Are we following them, or are we going to try and head them off at the pass?
Yeah. Off. Why not?
No, we can't head them off at the pass. The ship isn't fast enough to catch them.
Well, heading them off at the pass means going directly towards where they're headed.
Oh.
Instead of chasing around behind them.
Okay, then yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Do I need a piloting roll to set this up?
Yes. Give me that piloting roll.
Wow, I roll a 3. I can barely roll over a 10 ever.
All right, that's good enough. So I need to. Let's see. Are you using thrusters or drift?
Drift.
Whichever is faster.
Okay,
Drift. I'm assuming drift is faster. That's why we have it.
Right. And we
All
have
right.
a better drift than we did. Let's get us there.
And what is your drift? Where's your drift engine at?
Two. No, I don't know. I'm not in front of my computer.
Stellar flare. I'm getting there. Our drift is 2, so it's only 1 better than it.
So 2 is going to be, let's see, divided by 2. So it's going to be 2.5. Take you 2.5 days to get there.
I wish that we knew that they were going to get there. But we don't. So, well, that's pretty good. I high five Lee. I'm like, have you ever thought about being the captain of your own?
Well, as long as it moves fast and I get to pilot it, I don't mind.
Don't take my pilot.
Not going anywhere right now. We have to get back to our universe. And then he may want to go to his universe. I don't know him that well. So Lee,
I don't
tell
want
me
to go
about
back
your
to my
universe.
He doesn't get a choice.
Melp looks at you at this point, like, because he's managed to make his way back on deck too. Like, Melp looks at you, Lee, and he goes, tell me about it. Unfortunately, we're back in my universe. And he's like, at least we got something in common. And huh? It's obvious he's, kind of trying to be like, I'm part of, I'm with you guys. Really, I am.
Zai takes this moment to make him feel incredibly uncomfortable as Zai does that whole like hand on his chin walk around him in a circle with that deadpan stare the whole time.
Yeah.
And he's like, I knew those ears from somewhere. Ah, dear me. Well, congratulations on being mostly yourself.
He goes, yeah, he goes, try not to hold that against me. And he gives like a weak smile, like he didn't know what to do with that, so he just made a joke. And he was just like, because, he didn't want to go back, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't still have the desire to be as close to the Mad Tinker's genetic, what type
Right.
as he could be. He's just far away from that ideal, and he knows he's not going to make it in his own society. He's just
Right, I
making a weak
realize.
joke. He's just making a weak joke. Like, he goes, and but yeah, he's definitely trying to empathize with Lee here, because he
So
feels like kind of an outsider too.
we have 2.5 days. That means that in that time we all need to fucking play with the puzzle box, play both of the games to try and get those bonuses. And then since you feel that you're the sane one, what do you want to do, Twinkle? Or have you left yet?
No, there's no one to turn off stream, so I'm here
Oh.
till the end.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I mean, as far as it goes. Sorry.
I think Shaba is out of tricks. I think this is it. I genuinely do. So, if we're gonna have any chance of even coming close to catching up with him, we're probably just gonna need to go straight there.
Well, and that's what we're currently doing, but this is like our prep time. Because we know that Shaba is going to attempt a frontal assault probably if she doesn't manage to trade with this guy. And if this guy is close to the genetic material that we know is Slef, it's not going to work. It's going to end poorly for them, and we're going to have to rescue them when we get there.
Oh, this
I
is the
mean,
Mad
their
Tinker we're
only
talking
hope
about,
is
right?
loyalty. Well, no, we're talking about what was his name? Glug Glug or something
Uh,
like that, or
I
yeah,
think
it
that's what
was
it
some
was.
like grenade reference.
Yeah, I think Glug Glug was right.
Mm. But
Uh,
whoever it is,
well, I mean, Twinkle's always up for a good old fashioned jailbreak.
hmm. If we go in guns a blazing,
Oh, no. Twinkle's not that kind of rat. What are you talking about?
so you want to be sneaky,
What is Twinkle good at? Far and
being
away.
sneaky. Actually, technically, everything
Far and away, what is he best at?
being sneaky.
Yes.
All right. So in that case, I say something into thin air, and then Lady Sonnet appears. You'll want
She
her,
just kind of comes out of the shadows.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then Vesa, will you holler at your friend?
Hollering? Which one?
The one who can't go back, the drill lady that tried to kill my friend.
Oh, Vesh. Yeah.
Yeah, Ovesh.
Same
And you'll
thing
want her
he
too.
does. Yeah. I'm gonna do the same fucking trick you do. I'm gonna like look at you and I'm gonna smirk. I'm gonna do the same thing, and then surely Ovesh will show up. Yeah.
Yeah. Ove, yeah, Ovesh apparently was apparently crawling through ductwork and just kind of like drops down into the fucking.
She has a rat folk belt as well.
Honestly, like I think I like Ovesh so much now. Like I don't even care if she tries to backstab me later. Like that's my bitch
He vented Oves Super Sus.
now.
Yeah. So you're gonna give Twinkle the two, sort of assassins to work with.
All right. If he's trying to be sneaky, they're going to be the best help for him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, without a doubt. Yeah. You're right. It's um that's a good call.
All right. Before we get there, Twinkle, we need to update your weapon. I mean, definitely take whatever you like, but we can definitely get you something that will do a little more damage.
What are you talking about?
Oh wait, you already upgraded your weapon. I remember now.
I was gonna say I've got Forget Me Not.
All right. Forgive me. I did just take a beating.
No. I just think nothing of it.
Okay. So we definitely prepare. Not only that, I'd like to mention that there's a 30% chance that Shaba's a little bit crazier than I think, and she tries to take us out for trying to fucking get there because she'll think we're trying to stop her. So let's be prepared for that too.
If she's anywhere near as crazy as the queen version of her from my universe, she's already got a plan in motion to kill us if she sees us.
Lee, I realize that I've been taking your, martial arts class with you in the morning, and we've been working out together. But at this point, while we're doing that over the next 2.5 days, I would definitely like to hear as many stories about the queens of your universe. Just so, yeah. I'd like to be more up to date with where, you come from. Just in case.
All right.
All right. So what else needs to happen on our way? Also, Xander, what are you doing for 2.5 days? Or 3 days, however many days it is, I don't know.
Well, Xander's on
I know.
I'm flying.
Ship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're just gonna fly the ship the whole time? Fine.
he's
Yeah.
probably he's probably, I mean, I imagine, what do you probably have research or something? Or when
Yeah,
you're
if
not
we could put it
acting-
on ILO Pilot, I'd be like, all right, let's go compile our notes and see how we can negotiate that.
Shit.
I have another question for you, Xander. Did you just take your digital copy stuff with you? Did you leave any copies and stuff behind that the rest of the crew might find, like either on accident or on purpose?
It'd probably be accident because I just got called to the bridge and then teleported out. So I just have what's on hand.
All right.
Excellent. So we have
So
most
you
everything.
so you have, yeah, so there's probably like master copies of like most of your files back in your room then.
Yeah.
Would that be
There's
safe?
the master copies. I have actual up to date digital copies of them. There was a
Right.
copy sent to forgot his name. The
Zai?
butthead I left behind.
Twinkle?
No, those two people that kept following me around.
Oh, you sent it to them? Isaki has a copy of your information?
Yeah, because Twinkle told me to keep them up to date.
Yep. Yeah, so
Oh, shit.
I think Isaki would probably mention this then. She'd be like,
Wow.
it would be like, we do have a number of of the Xander's notes and research. They may not be the most up to date annotated, but the digital copies are. The In case we fail to catch up with them at the detention center or need them for other purposes.
Mm. Thank
Yep.
you.
Yeah.
I haven't said this in a long time, but that was actually incredibly helpful. I appreciate you being here right now. So
I forget, did you take who did you leave behind on Patella? As a quick reference here. Elgas, I know.
Well,
Whistle
Qualu, I
Fizz, I
think.
know. No,
uh
Qualu was with you.
Is Qualu with
Qualu's with
us?
us.
What the
Yeah.
But
fuck? Why
still,
hasn't Qualu stepped in for Nahir yet?
he
Jesus
he has.
Christ.
Well, he has. It's just the fact
No,
that,
I'm
like,
talking about the keeping fucking Zai on the straight and level.
Oh,
well,
because
because he's been mostly attached to Vesa he's
yeah,
been Vesa's head of
he's under
security.
orders to keep Vesa safe. Vesa killing people technically didn't violate that safety issue.
And he actually did want a meeting with the captains at some point before all of the craziness went down.
Okay,
But
remind me
they
of that.
decided to. He sent you guys a message before the incident with the prisoners. So with
Oh,
the failed boarding party, and then you guys got into dealing with the failed boarding party. So he just thought, and literally he was trying to deal with security issues on the ship.
well,
Uh,
and immediately when he saw what was going down, like you said, he tried to keep Rek away because Rek's been his buddy for a while and he knows stuff.
yeah. Well,
But it's not like it was going to be a secret for long. It's a tiny ship.
Well, he was trying to he was trying to maintain basic order on the ship. He didn't realize there was going to be a fight between Burnward and Zai until like he didn't have
No,
an
I kept
opportunity
it
to stop. He
incredibly
might have
tight.
he might have actually fucking been on his way to try to deal with that situation, or he might have been waiting for Vesa to give orders on that. Because as far as he knows, that like his understanding of the power structure is that Zai is like at the top of the food chain. So he'd been
Mm.
waiting for further orders on that, I imagine. He wouldn't have necessarily agreed with it, but he's also been ordered to stop other members of the party before and stood his ground. So
Yeah.
if he'd have been in a
And
position to, you would have probably been able to tell him to stop Shaba, and he would have stood his ground and probably tried to fight her. But
yeah, but
he wasn't in a position to do that.
okay. So when we get there, we start scanning. Also, we're going to try and stay just outside of their range. Does that make sense? Not like Shaba or anybody. The actual prison facility.
Right.
All right, and that's still going to be a guess because we don't have as good of sensors as the other ship. So,
Right.
You got it, Captain.
yeah, you pilot and keep us safe. Ashira, you computer and try to keep us hid. And you, Slan, for right now, because Pizza is busy. You do magic stuff to do the other stuff.
All right. Yeah, so you've got a yeah, so you've got fucking you're on your sort of on your way, what have you. Um, Qualu's been directing his security staff uh, to try to like come up with game plans for how to circumvent this kind of problem again, and he's trying to get the teams organized to better deal with boarding parties and things like that. Like he's revising security protocols at the moment until somebody needs him. I think at some point, Vesa, the like Plu, uh, like maybe it's like a late shift. Like maybe you're on the bridge like longer because you've been talking about like sleeping less and having trouble sleeping and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe at some point, like Plu catches you on deck, like Scramjet probably signs off for the night and is like, "Hey, try to get some sleep, Captain, because whenever we get here to this detention planet, it sounds like it's going to be a hairy situation. You need to be on. Just try to get some sleep. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like
Thank you, man.
I'm gonna head down to I'm gonna head down to the cafeteria and get some food before I go back to and get some sleep myself. And like as he's walking out, like Plu comes flying in on his on Wego, and
Mm-hmm.
Yo.
he's just like he kind of flies in and like lands, and he's like, hey, he's like, uh you I if you're having he says, since you're having trouble sleeping, and he hands you like he pulls out he grabs his backpack off of like a backpack he was wearing off, starts rummaging around, and um he pulls out a little he pulls out like a little doll, and maybe it's like this. It's like a weird, like squishy looking, alien, not of any type that you've ever seen or met. But
Mm-hmm.
he goes, he looks around and he goes, I know it's a kid's toy, but or at least it kind of, well, parents use it to help. In some places, use it to help their kids sleep without nightmares or to record or monitor them. He's like, um, he goes, it might help. And he kind of hands it to you.
I
And it's
will.
just like,
I will take it and like kind of like a curious look and a thank you. This is
it
incredibly
is,
thoughtful. You're a gem.
it is a MK3 Sweet Dream Bot
Oh shit. What does
that
it
he gave
do?
you. So what it does is it resembles like a friendly little alien. It's engineered with predictive technology that can anticipate the onset of dreams and nightmares of a single creature attuned to it. Uh, it has two settings: track and protect. While within 5 feet of the attuned creature while it sleeps, a sweet dream bot is set to track records. Set to track records the creature's nightmares. The data can be transferred to a computer for review. Though the video is often somewhat blurry and disjointed, if within 5 feet of a creature that is set to protect, a sweet dream bot both disrupts mundane nightmares before they start and gives the creature a +2 resistance bonus to will saves made while asleep or unconscious.
I love that. I
Or
love
it's,
that.
well, I guess it's just a regular sweet dream bot. I'm looking at MK3, but there's not an MK. There's only I was looking at the MK3 wetware bug for the
Oh yeah.
MKs because I thought that it continued on the other paragraph side of the page, but it didn't. But no, it's a level 1
It's
item.
cool.
It's called a Sweet Dream Bot, and it'll help you with like sleep with nightmares. It's
Mm.
sleep without having mundane nightmares. Anything magical onset, that while you're asleep you get a
It's a
+2
rainbow
versus,
rabbit.
and you can record your nightmares and play them back for review later.
Hmm.
That's what it
Yay.
does. But
I will
Wish
it's
there
a
were
totally
just
do
a
it.
little one of those wind up boxes with a punch, with a glove in it. So you wind it
yeah.
up enough, and then it punches you in the face and just knocks you out cold.
Hmm.
I
That
Oh.
would
love
be
it.
a great sleep device.
That's funny. I dig it.
But yeah,
Calculating sweet spot.
and you can kind of determine what your little sweet dream bot looks like. Just some friendly little alien creature looking thing.
Oh, yeah, it looks like a kraken, like a fluffy, sweet baby blue kraken.
Nice, nice, nice. And you just like, cool. Yeah. So next time you go to sleep, you should be able to do so with without nightmares. Daytime PTSD is still a thing, but like you can at least sleep now a little bit
Right?
better.
That's
Like
cool as shit. Thank you.
Plu, and Plu just kind of say Plu's like, he looks up and he's like, always glad to help, and he's like, and like he goes over to a science station
I'm going
to
to hug him.
yeah.
Does he accept my love?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, yeah, he's cool with it. Yeah, he
Okay.
hugs you back.
Okay. I'm going to
What are
bed.
friends for?
Right?
Yeah,
We have been through some shit. This is
yeah,
wild. I'm gonna go
yeah.
to bed. I'm going to bed.
All right.
And I want to record my dream.
Okay. So you're gonna set it to record. So it's gonna
Hmm.
record your so you can yeah. Right on. Cool. And so you're gonna get some sleep with your new dream bot. And uh, I think there's probably a point where he tries to give one to the unannihilated too, but the unannihilated just glowers at him
Oh.
silently. It's okay. Plu doesn't realize he's being threatened, and
Hmm.
it just thinks it's like and is like, and just is like thinks that he's trying to pretend to be a statue or something, and goes, "Okay, well," and walks away.
I love it. I love
uh,
it.
nah, he didn't realize. Yeah. What is Ashira doing with her time here? Like, when she's not on shift, is she like? There's a lot of craziness in the aftermath of shit. Does Ashira have anything specific she's trying to do?
Um, as far as cleanup and such, where are we at?
Um, there like a lot of the damage control. Like you're able to get the systems back out of lock. They've rebooted. You're able to clean the system up. Like the you're able to, because it was like a straight up cold hard reset. So um you're basically like, okay, this program that starts by on default that I disabled before is now I need to redisable that, and this program here that was patched over here I need to do that. So you're basically like got this, you've got your shifts cut out with having yourself and your crew of computer experts to, trying to, patching things back over to where they're working as smoothly as they were before. Just a little like uh, fucking clerical stuff that you would do, clearing out the programs that are just like superfluous, disabling things that need only be turned on when they're directly in use, that kind of stuff. Um, but other than that, like the damage from the boarding parties, the control crews have dealt with most of that. It took the cleanup crew a little bit uncomfortably long to clean up the brig from where Shaba eviscerated prisoners with her spell,
Yeah.
because there's all kinds of robot parts and gore all over the place that they had to clean up. The Well, I guess not robot parts. Those would have disappeared when the spell ended. But there's a lot of gore all over the place. Um, but that was an uncomfortable cleanup job. So yeah, that's kind of where
I mean, I
damage.
didn't think it was going to be a party.
Right,
You know.
but yeah, that's where the cleanup is at right now. Mostly it's just technical stuff,
Okay,
fixing things that.
so I just want to go kind of over what's been done, and then I want to retire to my room to try to not make pineapple grenades.
Okay.
It's
Nice.
tempting. It's tempting.
Nice. You're just thinking about grenades all day. I could make
Well, listen,
grenades.
I could take decommissioned grenades and make them into the pineapples, but I feel like that would backfire.
uh, yeah. Okay. So Shaba and Xander and Loyalty One managed to reach the detention center. Um, and just it doesn't even have an official name. And
Will we be stopping outside the thing and then go all stealth like it down in there?
yeah, so are you gonna try to negotiate first, or are you gonna try to stealth in? I mean, what is your game plan here?
Yeah, guys. What is your game plan?
Like,
Yeah.
how exactly do you go about this?
I did like Loyalty's idea of stealthing in. So we'd have to find a place close to land but outside of their sensor range.
All right. So that's not necessarily all that hard to do. Are you going to try to buzz by quickly to get a? Are you going to try to buzz by to get an idea of the security situation, or are you just going to try to go in cold and wing it and make it up as you go? If you try to buzz by, there's a chance that they're going to pick you up on
Yeah.
their sensors.
I think it would be better if we actually landed and then on foot get close enough that where we could visually see what their security looks like. And
All right. All right. Yeah. So maybe we get the Spitfire landing, and it's sort of barren and rocky. And there is a little bit of like um, sort of swirling mist and swirling like metal fragments, mist and like some swirling eddies of like metal shaving size metal bits that sort of like blow around. There's like a weak, very, very weak atmosphere here. Like it's not enough to breathe in. You'd be taking massive penalties without your suits. The but yeah, but there's just a faintest, you know, wisp of wind here and there that draws up like that draws up like shaving size metal and like blows it around in small eddies close to the ground. And there's just enough moisture for like a very low fog to form around your feet in some of the lower like altitude places and what have you. There's, really no vegetation. Maybe like you could detect, well, me, you can give me some computers. If you have like a scanner of some kind, you can maybe try to make some checks to scan and see if you can find out more. Like, do you have any kind of hand scanning device?
I got the targeting system in my suit.
The targeting system can show you like where like potential targets are, like small to larger sized, like life forms and what have you. But as far as giving you information on the uh, like detailed information, like, and it might be able to give you a reading on whether the
Xander
atmosphere
should
is
have
breathable or
something.
not.
I actually have that one dude's computer.
It's
Yeah,
not
you
a
do.
scanning device, but
Though Xander's an android.
That
And
doesn't mean he's got scanners on him,
Yeah,
unless
well,
he's got
no,
like cybernetic upgrades.
I don't know. Xander, do you? What can you do in this situation?
what was on the Spitfire, gear-wise, like that?
That's a good question. What did you have listed for being on the Spitfire cargo hold?
No, I don't have I can't. I don't have access to the new Spitfire.
That's so weird.
Die.
Well, that's a kind of a question for the people who do have access to it,
Mhm.
and namely the people who would have been in charge in deciding what to carry in those ships.
Well,
Wait, what's the question?
Because I
what's in the
know,
cargo hold of the Spitfire?
Oh,
Zai
sorry.
has a whole fuck ton of shit that they built that they had in the cargo of the Fire Shrike. I'm just not sure if you guys ever transferred any of that to the Stellar Flare or the Spitfire.
No, because we didn't think
The-
she'd steal that fucking bitch. All right,
Well,
so let's see.
as far as it goes, I mean, I just did when we rebuilt the ships. I didn't do that. I didn't put
That's
anything new
okay.
in there.
I didn't
So,
change anything on
and
that one either.
I mean, there'd
No,
have to
yeah, I
be at
did.
least a 4-pack of those cycles there.
Okay, so currently there's nothing in the cargo.
I mean, but
Alright.
technically they had time, so they could have grabbed stuff while they were still like, Xander could have been like grabbing supplies.
No, they actually didn't have time. They literally
Oh,
basically teleported from the
They-
bridge of the
yeah.
the Stellar Flare to the bridge of the, and
right.
Xander
But
didn't get
then
off
how
again.
many rounds did it take to get the locks off?
Well, only a couple after Vesa pretty much was like, "Yeah, don't stop them.
Yeah, I was
Do
trying to get
Oh,
what
the
you
ship
do."
going too at the same time, like
okay.
doing the startup thing. So we didn't have time to get anything. If it's not on the
Alright.
ship, we ain't got it.
Do you
So
have? It does have a tech lab, so if you got either
it
of you have
says
some UPBs, you could build something on the starship, on the
and
Spitfire.
there are no UPBs on the ship. Everything was on the Stellar Flare.
Well, they may personally have some UPBs that I'm not
Right.
aware. Like because I don't know, if you guys how much of what you have that you're transferring into UPBs and how much you have in credits.
I got a lot of credits, but
I got about
No,
650.
650
I got
UPBs.
90,000 credits.
Well, you
So
got more credits than I do.
what
Congratulations.
what can you make with 650 credits with 650 UPBs that might help you?
Xander, what do you actually have on you? Do you actually have all your starter stuff listed on your character sheet?
Yeah, have bombs.
Find you.
If you wait for us, we'll probably fucking be right there.
There's what am I looking at here? Technical items, hybrid.
I'm looking it up right now.
Uh,
Apparently, I'm carrying around a chamber.
What kind of chamber?
A little space chamber. I don't know. It
Oh,
says I'm carrying it around.
that's like a handy haversack in the other edition. It's a portable hole. You can put stuff in it.
No one's touching that. No one? In this group? Nobody's touching it? Okay.
No.
Notice the one that tried to touch that was once again you, the girl.
Twinkle.
The rest of us are good boys.
And we're
Well,
on stream.
on stream. Ha ha ha.
yeah.
Okay.
I just started put random bodies in. Hey, before he can shoot me, I could throw it at him and put him in it.
Not quite. You can knock him unconscious and put him in it. There you go, Xander. You knock Shaba out, and you're like, I have Sluff Stuff and Shaba Yawn.
Good luck in knocking me out.
Yeah, it's.
What happens if you put a proximity mine inside one and then jam the hole over someone's head?
I don't know.
For one, there's probably more actions than you can take in one round. So I imagine they pretty much they see where that's going and take steps to not have a portable hole with a bomb stuffed over their head.
Yeah, sure, if they're looking at you. But, you know, garrotes work from behind.
Yes, but a garrote is an attack one standard action. Putting a bomb in a portable hole would be a move action.
Well,
Taking the move action to then arming it and then fucking pulling out and then utilize it, pulling out the portable hole and then sticking it over somebody's head. Seems like too many actions for one round.
yeah, but I'm thinking
It's definitely not a spur of the moment
proximity
type thing.
mine. You throw it in there and turn it on, and as long as you don't put anything in there, it doesn't sense anything, so it never goes off until you stick it over someone's head. Of course, the blast may kill me too.
Oh, the blast might the blast might rip a hole in space-time too, and the dimensional boundaries, and
Well, that's
yank
fun.
everything through it. And yank
That's
everything
just
through it.
fun. Reality just turns inside out. Oh wait, let's get back to the story. Sorry.
Yeah. You happen to find anything yet?
Looking through the armory book at the moment.
All right. I'm just looking at the Fire Shrike text chat. Purple, you got a thing for pineapples today.
Pineapple is also the safe word.
Sorry.
Pineapple's also the universal secret symbol for swinging.
Mm.
By the way, do you guys actually have like a memorial or any funeral service for Burn Ward at all?
Okay. So, I'm going to be honest. Until you brought it up, I completely spaced it. You know, his corpse had been in there for that many days.
Yeah.
Yes, I do everything that I say that I was going to do when we talked about it. There is a respectable service, and then we shoot him in the trajectory of the sun of this like system that we're in.
Oh, and I want to get violence. Can I roll something to like get him to
I
start
thought we
being
already
my
did
boss?
some of that.
We never rolled for anything. Do
Oh,
I need to
okay.
roll
Yeah.
something?
Well,
Well,
okay.
I don't think you need to roll, but you are going to need to pay half the price of what he's worth to
Yeah, no,
retrain
so
him
we
to
did
not
do
be
that
a
because I
dog.
paid for all of that. That's why I'm so
That's
poor right
right.
now.
But
You did.
he's still in training for right now, so it's going to be a little
Yes,
bit what.
and
Okay.
Flu will help you. So
So,
So I'll
yeah.
probably like I'll be spending time over there too to like.
also remember you have to give extra time with Pork Chop because Pork Chop's gonna get jealous. He's never had to deal with this.
It's true. So equal time with Pork Chop, and his name is V now. It's no longer violence. It's just V.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can
And
we call him Violet? I know we can't.
we call him Violet. So maybe it's something he'll
Ooh.
still come to.
Well,
I don't know that he's going to come to that necessarily.
He won't come
V
to Violet.
maybe.
Yeah, right.
Well, Because I could see Burnward occasionally referencing him as V, but Violet may be close, but it would probably be just confusing.
Okay.
That's what treats are for.
I
But
mean, honestly, that's what treats people. Yeah.
Just I found scanners in the armory,
Okay.
and the enhanced camera level 3 scanner
Mm-hmm.
does exactly what my cyber optics does. I just don't record shit.
Oh, okay.
So
Sweet.
like I have the full infrared, all the wavelengths, the enhanced vision, low light, dark vision, thermographic, ultraviolet.
All right. Well, let's get some stealth rolls.
There's mine.
Xander, take your time.
I activated
Oh,
Oof.
Hey, look, a
Wait.
rock!
1 round per level.
Xander, this is a new day, and that's a skill check. Please re-roll that. Well, at least it's not a
At least
one.
it's not a 1.
I need to revise and fix loyalty -0 stats. He's still up as if he were about 3 or 4 levels lower than he would be. Well, Xander, you are not stealthy at all. You are.
I tried to say. I was like, yeah, I can try.
And try you did.
Yep.
You get the A for effort.
And Shaba, your spell lasts 1 round per level, so
I'm level 16,
yeah, so
and I got 5 more castings of it.
16 rounds, and 1 round is 6 seconds, so 10 rounds would be about a minute. So that's 2. Wait a minute, that's right? Yeah, that's 2 minutes per casting, essentially, with maybe an extra casting or 2 on top of it. So 5 is 10. We'll say roughly around 12 minutes if you burn all your spell slots for invisibility. So, all right. So let's see. I'm gonna give a flat roll. Let's see. Actually, not a flat roll, but let's see. Let's go with. Ooh. Let me do a percentage check really quickly here. All right, so let's. Okay, so. All right, so Xander as you guys are kind of like, and maybe we're like looking from behind you guys as you kind of try to sneak your way up to like this massive facility that's made like with big fucking metal walls and like you can see the roofs of the buildings kind of jutting out over the top of it. Everything looks very um utilitarian to a large extent. There are some flourishes here and there, but they're more like accidental flourishes where the technology somehow just happens to create something that looks a bit artistic. Um, but a lot of it is like, you see that there's a great deal of scanning equipment and whatnot. You do see that they have, people physically patrolling the walls. You're still fairly far out. You do see, as you're sneaking up, Xander, you do see somebody stop, one of these figures, and they look like they're, small sized or maybe kind of hard to tell from this distance, but they turn around and look right in your direction, like they're looking right at you. You can't see more than a silhouette of them, barely visible atop of the. And so you're not certain, like if they saw you, or if they saw movement and looked correctly in the right direction, or whatnot. They haven't said anything that, or they don't. Um, maybe they seemed, maybe they are. Uh, Maybe you start to see a second shape, like that might have been marching in step on the other side of them and was indistinct from, but now you see kind of move away a little bit as you know, that one starts looking out too, in
I'm
your
just gonna
direction.
continue walking
Do I?
and being all like, "Oh, yay, cool." I don't pay no, never mind.
Does Shaba notice this at all?
Yeah, Shaba, you would notice this too.
How much
Your enhanced
casting am I up
vision,
to?
huh?
Am I
They're
still?
not looking at. Are you so what?
Am I still in my first casting of the spell?
Yeah, this is like this is the first time you get within, what could be considered, long visual range. And, immediately Xander, you know, like loyalty winds his way through and,
Yeah.
very effectively you're invisible. But like, what does this look like, Xander? Like you
I,
just like you're walking, you look up, you see these guys looking in your direction, you just keep walking. Um,
Yeah, pretty much.
while he's casually walking, I put my hand on him and I cast the same spell on him.
okay. All right. Uh, you are shy and 12 seconds from where you started.
Yeah.
So, and you have a minute and 12 seconds worth of invisibility, Xander.
Whether he realizes he's invisible or not,
I don't have a
Yeah.
clue. I'm still just
Yeah,
walking like,
you have no idea. They seem to they continue to look for a minute, and then they seem to have some kind of they continue to look, but they seem to be having some kind of discussion, as it were. Um, we
I just
get
keep walking. Nobody tells me otherwise.
let's see. We'll get rolling 100. Yeah, I'm only gonna get one result there.
You
Well,
still get 100.
I
Oh,
know.
my
Wow.
Lanta.
Wow.
Wow. We keep it 100 up in here. All right, now we don't. Let's see. Uh,
What security measures do we trip off?
All right. So you managed to advance a little bit further. they're still looking in the direction of where Xander was, but they're no longer looking in the direct where Xander is exactly. Or at least it doesn't seem like it. It seems like they're looking at where he was and not where he's at.
Okay.
So, as they get closer, they will get direct, checks again. Ooh, yep. Let's see. Let's see how far you get this time. Actually, let's do this. You get another 30 feet. Xander, what's your movement rate?
I'm guessing 30. I don't know. It's
30?
blank.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
30 if you don't have anything special.
All right. So that means 32 12 seconds. All right. All right. Let's see.
Roughly how much more distance do we have?
I'm trying to. You're probably still a good. You're probably still a good. You're probably still a good 70 feet, 80 feet out away from the, maybe more.
Loyalty's still weaving his way through, not being noticed.
Yeah, pretty much. Even without updated stats, his stealth check was 39.
Yeah. Since I've been trying to stay with Xander with my force pack, I'm just like, and go the full speed of my force pack straight at the wall, which my movement now goes to 60.
All right. All right. So you're headed for the wall. You take off quickly. Xander, you're still making your way at normal speed.
Yeah, because I don't have a clue. He just dashed off because he's invisible. I'm just walking.
Shaba's still invisible. Loyalty is being as stealthy as he can be. So let's see. What did I roll for there? 2015 slash R1. Oops. Uh, yeah, he's still not noticed. I think, let's see, if your movement rate is 30 and you're not rushing, that means it should take you about 2 minutes to get to the wall. No. About, not 2 minutes, 12 seconds, 18 seconds. So it'll take you about 18 seconds to get to the wall. And Shaba, you're there in 12, in a little less than 12. Loyalty will get there shortly after. So you guys managed to make it to the wall, but the wall is pretty steep, and there are people like traveling over the top of it. What is your
If I
how are you,
thick this wall is?
How thick it is?
Just
Oh, it's thick.
Like,
Hmm?
well, Shaba's got dimension door. That's 120 feet. I think that's, I don't know.
no,
That's
that's
how I'd be thinking.
1,040 feet.
Oh, see, look, it's even better.
It's long range.
All right. Are you gonna try to dimension door? Is that what you're asking here for, or do you have something else in mind?
I was actually just suggesting. I don't know what's up her sleeve.
So I was also thinking pass wall.
Ooh.
But that only goes for 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
See, the thing with dimension door is I don't know where I'm going. So I could
True.
randomly pop us into a wall, which would hurt.
Didn't you have like a whole bunch of information on this place?
All I can say is, like, how much information do I have, Justin?
Well,
Like, I know he's here, but do I know anything beyond that?
as far as you don't know a lot of details. You just know that this is where loyalty, or not loyalty, but Xander 1 was being held. So let's I'm looking at here. Let's see something here.
Got quiet.
Yeah, I wanted to check something here real quick. Oh, okay. Just making sure. Making sure I remembered something.
All right, is
correctly.
the wall like smooth rock or is it like ancient kind of grobbly rock?
It's metal.
Oh, even worse.
Is there somewhere along this wall that we could actually, like, hide under?
Not really. I mean, the only thing that's here, and you're guessing the only thing that was intended to be here, is this facility.
Well, Shaba, are you big enough to cover Xander with your camouflage?
Oh, Xander is, like, how tall is Xander?
A short little dude. Like, let's say 5'6". Short little guy.
Nice.
Yeah, I could hug Xander. And then chameleon into looking like the wall color.
Hmm. But you're not like a blanket, so they would get a chance to still see through to still see Xander, but you could give him a pretty big bonus to stealth. So
Yeah, it's a plus 10 bonus to stealth when I do that.
it would give. I think you could give him an aid another. I would allow you to make an aid another check on stealth for that to give him a bonus.
Okay.
It won't be the plus 10 bonus, but
But he
It'll be a
was
little bit more than the normal +2.
yeah. So
I'll give him a +4.
I'd have to roll my stuff first.
Because that is relatively creative. I don't want to just say that you can't do it, but I don't want to say that it just automatically works
Yeah,
either.
no, that makes sense.
So
So
if you're successful, you can give him a +4 to his stealth check bonus
okay,
instead of just a +2.
okay, this is my stealth roll. Ignore the second one.
So 20 is enough to give him an 8 another bonus. So if you want to try to make another stealth check, Xander, you'll get a +4 bonus on it. Because Shaba's trying to use her body to hide you while she's camouflaging.
I got a 24.
And I will also need a stealth check from Shaba. Because you're camouflaging, so assuming you're hiding as well.
Yeah.
So all right. Alrighty. So let's hope here. You got a few minutes before the next guard patrol comes by. So I'll give you a minute to decide on how you want to proceed. Because right now you're hiding at the base of the wall.
Okay, I guess I'm going to take my minute. Yes.
You're going to prying eyes. Individual iron clip files. Create 20 semi-tangible object magical orbs. They move around, scout around, and return is directed. You can see them when each eye can see 120 feet in all directions. Small difficult each eye is flying. ESC fly at +116 bonus stealth checks. 20 perception bonus. Illusions and other factors. When you create the eyes, you specify instructions you want them to follow in a command of no more than 25 words. The eyes know anything you know. In order to report their findings, the eyes must return to your hand. Each eye replays in your mind all that it has seen during its existence and takes an eye 1 round to replay 1 hour of recorded images. After replaying all of the findings, an eye simply disappears. Okay.
They can go out to a mile.
All right. And you're going to do what exactly here with that, with them?
I sort of have the eyes gathered around very tightly,
Mm-hmm.
and I command him, find his twin.
Okay. All right. So you're going to have them go search up to your range for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So out to 1 mile max, and they last in 16 hours, or until they report back they found him.
All right. So, for brevity's sake, go ahead and roll a stealth check for one stealth check for all of your eyes and one perception check for all of your eyes. We'll determine if any of them are seen or if they find anything. All right. Good roll. All right. Let's see. Well, the guards at the top of the tower don't see them. See if any of the guards on the inside do here. I'm gonna say give it 1. 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's obviously more guards than this here, but I'm just trying to.
Yeah.
I'm figuring that this will probably cover multiple sections of guards, just as sort of abbreviated role. And let me get a perception check from those eyes. All right. 31. All right. So maybe we get the scene that like you send these eyes out and we see them, sort of fan out and go over, different parts of the wall and stuff. Just kind of like um, passing behind or underneath the vision of the sight lines of the guards here and there. We see them kind of speeding throughout this detention camp compound, going past the occasional guard either over their head or below their sight line, or hiding behind corners temporarily for until one passes, what have you. From what you can tell, a lot of the detention center is filled with what look like, well, other cosmic curve cabal isekai like Melp, who are too far from the genetic drift from the Mad Tinker. But towards the center of the compound, there is a building that they cannot get into or around seems to have additional security measures that the guards standing out there are like literally guards standing directly in front of the door. Is just their post. Like most of the others are in various states of patrol, some working as security, like a security office, security station type thing. Obviously they only put, guards, stationary guards on entrances and exits that seem to be pretty important, Um, so there's maybe this one building in the middle of this compound that is, locked up extra tight. It's got cameras. It's got like two physical guards standing out front. Um, the building itself looks like it's been wired pretty heavily. Wired up.
Just 2 guards at the door.
It looks like it.
But wouldn't have any idea how many are inside.
Right. You wouldn't know how many are inside. And for that matter, you're not entirely certain how many are on the wall or in the compound. They managed to dodge by a few groups of them here and there, but
No, and that's fine.
many of them are wearing full armor with helmets covering their faces and stuff. I mean, you can generally assume that they're a little bit close. You can generally assume that they're part of the same. They're all isekai. You can generally assume they're part of the same organization. But as far as how far they are from genetic drift is unclear.
Well, they're probably closer to it because if they're out acting as guards, the poor souls that are inside the cells.
Right. So, yeah, this is kind of what you're looking at right here. And I need to.
I I guess by now the invisibility probably has ixnayed.
Right.
So with this information, can I get a rough idea of the distance between where we are and that center block?
That's the center. The central building is. I'm gonna say it's probably a good. I mean, it's probably a good 250 feet from the wall, from the inside of the wall.
Perfect. I look at loyalty and it's like, do you want to do a break in?
Can we break out once we break in?
You're staying put.
Oh. Okay.
I'm looking at loyalty. Like, do you want to break in?
He goes, if this is the only way to get, if this is the only way to get through this mission and get out of here, yeah,
Okay. All I need
man.
to know, my friend.
He's like, um, he says, I would say though, I'm not sure about our odds. If he says,
Let's just say the one great thing just of greater invisibility is when you attack, it doesn't drop.
right, right,
So I
yeah.
turn me and loyalty 0 invisible with greater invisibility and dimension door us right in front of the guards.
All right. Um, all right. And I think that's probably a perfect place to leave off for tonight. Um, just like maybe we get like the fucking sort of like representative of like translucent looking form of the two of them teleport directly in front of this compound door, and that's where we kind of we cut off from them. And do we have any last scenes we need to do on the stellar flare? Well, everybody is kind of like heading in that direction. So anything?
Vesta has Vesta has the greatest night's sleep of her life.
Oh, okay, yeah. Maybe we get
Sleeps
Vesa
amazing.
sleeping peacefully for once. Well, you don't have it set to protect. You have it set to record, right?
Oh shit, you're right. She doesn't sleep peacefully. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
so maybe it's not a peaceful sleep. Maybe but we see the sleep bot next to her, and maybe like we see like the like like the camera working in the eyes of the dream bot, like we see like the red glow, and maybe see like circuitry, and well, it wouldn't be like a physical camera, so maybe we see like the sheen of like the circuitry working behind the eyes and whatnot, like the techno magical circuitry, um,
Mhm.
and what have you, as it records whatever nightmare you're having at the moment.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, um, Zai, any last things for Zai or for Ryan or for Ashira or Lee or anybody?
I'm good.
No, I think Ryan's just trying to make sure the engines stay working so
All
he
right.
can dimensional jump out of here when they have to.
Lee's doing his jogs through the halls. He stops at the chalk outline that's been drawn on the floor to indicate how far Violence's leash leads. Looks at the dog, uh, Laser Hound. It looks at him. Lee moves one toe over the line. Violence immediately gets up and charges towards him, pulls his toe back. Then that hound is like right at the end of the leash, just
Yeah.
outside of where it can get at Lee. I really hope you get better. And he continues his jog.
Yeah. Yeah, V is still not super friendly, so yeah. All right. Let's see, we got Vases sleeping. Ashura's got nothing. Anything with Zai or before we take out or before we do sign offs? What's up?
I said, no, it's late enough. We should finish up.
Okay. All right. So everybody send me your Player's Choice Awards.
Yep.
And let's get sign off started. And we will start with Lee.
I'm the Computer King, the supervillain of streaming, and I was sending in my Player's Choice Award when I got called in. And Lee's not so sure about this group, but it's the group he has. And it's still better than the Queens. So,
To the moment.
and hopefully the dog will get better. Probably not.
It's a journey.
It's a journey. It's a journey that could involve severed limbs. Laser hound, not good. Not a good thing to have running around pissed off if you don't have power and armor to protect you. I can imagine Burnward playing with the puppy by having it bite his armor.
I mean, yes.
Oh yeah, he also growled at it.
Probably.
I'm also in New Amsterdam on Thursdays, where I'm Payne Dexter, who has his own helmet built into his head because my last character got his head blown off because I forgot to buy him a helmet. Well, okay, I didn't forget to buy him a helmet. I didn't think the GM would aim for my head immediately so quickly. But that's fine, because that's the way Cyberpunk goes. Boom, your brains are on the wall. It's a fun game. And other than that, I have a podcast. Go to your podcasters and look up Computer King. Or you can go to computerking.buzzsprout.com and listen to Into the Dark with a Computer King, where I talk about the darker side of human sexuality. Adults only, please.
That just kind of sounds scary. Xander.
It's not.
Sounds normal to me. All right, I'm Scott. I play Xander, and I don't know. We're having fun. We're trying to break somebody out. Not doing so well, but hey, I'm a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. Anyways, what else am I in? So, New Amsterdam. Everything's fine. Trust me. Character's fine.
Everything's
to go.
fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I might need to go see a counselor eventually, but hey, I'm fine now. I can do my job. Heal people.
Right.
Okay. I'm also in Gloomfall as the most normal person in the entire party. Because I'm just a blacksmith that makes weapons and walls and roofs and floors. And yeah, I'm a blacksmith. I'm normal. And that's all I do. That's it.
All right. Codex, I do not know who you mean. There is no burn word.
You know who I fucking mean. I couldn't think of Twinkle.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. That
You
is
know who
the
I
type.
mean. Couldn't think
That
of
is
the name. It's the same way I literally call Brian Shaba all the time. He's Shaba.
Burnwood's played by me, though.
Oh shit. Whoever. Who am I thinking of?
Gunner.
I don't know. That's
Cyrus.
yeah.
Yeah, that's who I meant. I'm sorry, Mike.
Okay, well, that is the tiebreaker. All right.
You're good.
Next on the list is Vesa.
Hello.
Hello.
I know. I'm Amy Gedden. I played Vesa. She's fine. Everything's fine. We're fine. No one got murdered today. Everything's good. That one time that she did threaten someone, I was actually in the kitchen making a sandwich and no one really heard it aside from saying like airlock, but it could be anything. It's fine. Uh, it's no big deal, I swear. On Thursdays, I am also in New Amsterdam. I play Cash. She's a net runner. She's not nearly as crazy as Vesa, and definitely not as crazy as Trinix, even though a homegirl needs to get herself some therapy because her humanity kinda sucks. And after all the cyberware I just bought for her, it just keeps going further down. It's gonna be fine. Everything's fine. Honestly, it's just that should be the catchphrase of this entire channel. Everything's fine. That's me.
Awesome.
Hmm.
Brian, why don't you go next?
Yes, I'm right. I mainly played Java today. Well, she has a plan, developing it on the fly, but then that's her style, so it works out great. Yeah, so it'll be interesting. Hopefully, we break into this place and get Xander one out. Gonna have to apologize to Loyalty Dash Zero because I can't cast any more invisibility spells. I need to leave Blast Slot for a lovely Dimension Door. But hey, me and him will be able to handle it. We're good at fighting. But besides that, on Thursdays, I was playing Soya, who did achieve her target, and I had these guys going that they were on a secondary list, but nope, didn't exist.
Terrible. You're
Just
terrible,
Mike telling me
Task. I
have
love
fun
it.
with it, so I had fun with it.
It was fun. It was terrifying and fun.
Well, that character's terrifying.
For real. Dude.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's what happens when the game master says have free reign in the books, but just keep it in the books. Sure, no problem. But anyway, on Sundays we were supposed to play this Sunday. Family stuff is getting in the way at the moment, but that's getting better
Good.
now, which is good. So in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from Sunday that just passed, we will be back in the Gloomfall, and this lovely band of, well, I can't say they're miscreants and no do-gooders because they really haven't proven that yet. They're just people who want to try to make a living in the Underdark and not get killed.
Yeah,
That's probably the best way to put it.
it's not for lack of trying. We are certainly miscreants and no do-gooders. We just, we're not very powerful ones.
You're not there yet. When you are, then
we haven't committed war crimes in that group just yet.
Oh, give us 2
oh, and
sessions.
3.5 is so easy to commit war crimes. But
It is not
yeah,
my goal to commit war crimes.
that's it for me.
Alrighty. Commodore.
I played the Commodore, sometimes known as
Wow, you are way muffled.
How about now?
Kind of. He cut off at the end of now, but yeah, I heard you. I take it that was dropping out and dropping in. Oh. Oh, why am I doing that? That's not where I want to be.
It's something.
There you are. We can hear
Right
you
now.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. Tonight I played Captain's Eye. These people are fun. I love them all a bunch. My friend Purple Codex and my friend Amy Geddon, they have kick-ass places on TeePublic where you can go check out their t-shirts and buy them. They are epically made, not ethically made, and on a Purple Codex.
All right. Purple.
Sorry. I was in the middle of a coughing fit. I'm sorry. It was
Oh
like,
no.
hold on
No,
one second. Had some I've been actually streaming a little bit more. But it's been random, like Apex, Arc, and then movies nights. So it's been not consistent, but it's fine. What was I gonna say? I'm still off work until the 1st. I hurt my back. That's slowly getting better. In the middle of all the scans that we had to get, the 100,000 things they did at the hospital and the clinic and all that stuff. We did find a couple concerning health issues, so I'll be attending to those. Yeah. No, I don't really have anything else.
Okay.
All right. Well then, I suppose that brings it back to me. So I am the Just a King Zerat. You can catch. Whoa, wait a minute. Before I get into that,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
let's do some housekeeping. 'Cause I need to give you guys some experience points.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody gets 5,000 XP, and
5,000.
tonight's Player's Choice Award is Twinkle. So somebody want to post in the XP, and he gets an extra 9,000 or 900.
9,000.
9,000.
I heard
Like,
it.
I
yeah,
mean,
wait,
if that's what it takes, we'll
900.
all work harder next week.
Ding 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 ding
When the
ding.
Player's
Lead
Choice is
levels.
worth more than the when the Player's Choice Award is way worth more than the actual session experience points, that'll create some real competition there. Some narcissism probably too.
No.
So somebody should probably post it. 5,000 for the session, 900 for Twinkle for Player's Choice, beating out Xander by 1 vote. Ashira, you were the deciding vote.
Can't get experience if everybody gets accidentally thrown out of an
I'm
airlock.
sorry, Xander. My bad.
You didn't know. It's not like you did anything. You voted for who you voted for. It's your choice. You didn't know if you were tiebreaker or not.
Honestly, I'm gonna vote for Twinkle,
Cool.
but he wasn't here, and I was like, "Who else?" And then I typed in someone else. Sorry, Twinkle.
Listen,
I
he was
love
a good.
you.
Listen, hear me out. He was a good sport, and he was like, "I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna hang out, take care of things." So I
Yeah.
mean, I'm just saying, he deserved it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Very good. Very good. All right.
I mean, I was on the same mental thought process, so hey,
Yeah.
whatever.
Nice.
All right. Well, that being said, I am the Just a King Zerat. You can catch me here on Monday nights for Fire Shrike. This shit is crazy and insane and all over the place. And then you can also catch me on Gloomfall when we have Gloomfall as Gorgork, the Forge Spitter, my Orog fighter with well, he's threatened to eat the halfling cook a couple of times, so that's a thing.
He'll even provide you with the recipe.
He will. I was gonna ask him, what wine he would recommend I drink with him if I ate him. The
A nice Chianti.
I'm sorry.
like if I do devour you, what wine would you suggest? Well, he is the cook,
I
so
feel like it's a red.
he should know. Kind of, you might be right.
I'm just
Um,
saying, a Chablis would
nice
go
boy.
very well with gamey halfling meat.
This could be this is a whole other episode.
Whole other conversation.
Cooking with Fire Shrike.
How to prepare a halfling. uh, I have been trying to get to more streaming. Go to Zerat every once in a while, see if there's a video up. I guess I probably should have streamed last night because I played a shit ton of Sims 4. I played a lot of Sims last night. I really did. It was the longest stretch. It could have been a stream because I was legitimately working on shit with this household for hours. Like, I should have made it a stream. We'll keep it in mind. Anyway, that's all we've got for tonight. So let's get an RIP Fern and get out of here.
All right.
R.I.P.
I love James
Fern.
M.